Giants have it. Lawrence Taylor strips the ball. Today,
your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Hard Rock and Sports Studios and another edition of the weekly video recap. March the
alla pressure. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Yeah, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Intensiv julkavalin, hål och mjuka knappar. Kom hit, häll de levande djupen. Lacka, packa, glöm ej tacka, klä din grad och dina barn. Ta som informera fester för alla utom mig. Att vara ensam på jul kan väl aldrig vara helt julen är här. Men ja, ta det lugnt, låt mig alldeles ensam i julen Julofstök, alla är här med paketen under granen. Tomt och gröt, vad mannen i sök, glöggen blänker i baren. Skinka och sill, ägg och lite till, barnen skriker och leker. Ska du sitta ner, det som behöver mer, smålärat att jag ser. Att vara själv när det är jul kan vara riktigt skönt, eller hur? Julen är här, men jag ta det lugnt, slå mig ner. Annars tung, ingen fest, ingen het. Alldeles ensam i julen med midvinternattens köld är hård. Stjärnorna gnistrar och glimmar. Alla sover ensligård ljust under midnattstimmar. Månen vandrar sin sista bad. Snölligt och vit på fur och gran. Snölligt och vit på taken. Endast tomten är vaken.
Va? Är tomten naken?
Julen är här, men jag tar det lugnt, slå mig ner. Annars tung, ingen fest, ingen häst, alldeles ensam i julen men jag tar det lugnt, slå mig ner. Annars tung, ingen fest, ingen häst, alldeles ensam i julen
But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to Thursday night and another edition of the Hard Rock and Sports Show live from high atop Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together where we bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and of course the wide world of sports. And guys, Merry Christmas. That's right. It's the start of the holiday season here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. Now through December 17th, at least. It probably well past that when we have our big Christmas spectacular. We have some announcements on some guests who will be performing and coming on the show that night. But it's been a couple of weeks. We took off for Thanksgiving. I hope your holiday was good. And we took a couple of weeks off to celebrate with our families. But I think we're both excited to get back on. It's a big, beautiful time, guys. It's not only Christmas, it's almost time for the Christmas on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. And my beloved Big Blue Giants are in first place. First place. By the way, what you heard opening the show tonight might be our Christmas theme music. That is a song called Jewel Stress. I don't know what it means, but it's a Christmas song from a band called Pressure, and they are from Sweden. And they may be one of the bands either performing live or doing some sort of videotaped performance from Sweden on our big December 17th. Thank you to Simon and the entire band. Thank you to Sam Bone for hooking us up. But I love the song. It's got a great feel. It's got a lot of metal in it. I love the melody, so I played it to open the show, and I'll probably do that each of the next 3 weeks for sure. So thanks to the boys in Pressure, and thanks to Sam for allowing us to do that. But without further ado, there you go, Allison. I'm going to bring on the backbone of the, for putting that on your face, on your nameplate. I might not even let you on the show at this point, you rat bastard. All right, I'm going to bring on the backbone of the Hard Rock and Sports Show and my dear friend of 40 years, Mr. Jeff Talwinski. What's up, Hefe?
What is that on your fucking head?
Merry Christmas, my man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too. And I'm glad that you're excited for the Yule time season.
Listen, by the way, I got you one. I got you your own jet one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
That you'll have to wear for the Christmas show. That'll be part of your attire.
I'm also next week announcing right now.
Yes.
I'm going to have a grand illumination here next week.
Okay. I'm a little afraid of what that is.
Illumination.
Wait, before we go any further, I gotta stop you.
Okay, wow.
You wanted to do a little tribute tonight, a little something to start the show and dedicate the show. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yes, a guy I used to work with a number of years ago, a friend. He died last night, sometime yesterday, early last night. And we just want to dedicate the show to one Mike Cadigan. He was Staten Island guy. I honestly don't know where he is now. I think he was living upstate or somewhere in Jersey, and he recently passed away last night. And just wanted to acknowledge that. He was a good guy. I met him through work. And although I haven't seen him in a while, whenever I did see him, he was always cool. And he was heavily into music, all different kinds of classic rock. But he was a big Grateful Dead fan, Kinks fan. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And, right before the holidays, his family is dealing with that. I don't know if they'll ever see this or not, but they just wanted to wish the family our condolences and big sorry to Mike. Sorry that you passed away. It's a shame. What more could be said? It's gone way too soon, man. Rest in peace. I don't know what your demons were, but from what I heard, there you had a few, and they just kind of caught up with you. He was a heavy drinker, didn't take care of himself, and next thing you know, gone.
Well, it's a shame. The show is now dedicated to him, and may he rest in peace. And our condolences from all of us here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show to his family. We wish you as well as possible during these trying times. And this show will be dedicated to his memory. And good for Jeff to make that announcement tonight, Jeff. But Jeff, let's get to the show, man. Listen, how was your holiday? I did get to talk to you. I mean, we talk all the time, but I talked to you on Thanksgiving. You were especially Yuled, I would say, after putting up your tree.
I was fucking Yuled, all right, man. about a bottle and a half of whiskey in. Let me tell you a quick story about the tree. So we recently bought the house in February, so we're here in the house, and so we had the Christmas tree from last year. I am thinking that it's a 7-foot tree.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 7.5-foot tree. The ceiling is only 7 foot.
Okay.
So all of this math, I'm not one for algebra, but X minus Y equals the tree don't fucking fit. So needless to say, we tried to put it up and it looked like the tree from the Christmas Vacation movies. It was all bent on the ceiling and went up and then curved along with the ceiling. So then I tell my wife, I was like, I'm going to buy a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So what does my wife say in typical Sharon fashion? Don't spend a lot of money. Don't spend a lot of money. I'm like, do you want to come with me to go get the tree? Her son and daughter were here, and she's just like, no. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I went to Fortunoff, the only place I knew of where I could get a decent tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there, and I'm FaceTiming her, and I'm showing her the trees. And one was 600, one was 500, and the other one was like 300. And or 400. And the 400 one had colored lights.
Mm-hmm.
The other two had white lights. So I'm showing her the tree, and I show her the $600 one first. And she's like, well, that's a nice tree. Okay. And I was like, let me show you the $500 one. That's a nice tree, too. And I show her the $400 one. And lo and behold, what do you think she says for the $400 one? Well, that's a nice tree also.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, which one do you want me to get? Is it because in person, only the $600 tree looks really the best?
Right.
You know, well, don't spend $600. So as she's going like this, don't spend $600. Like, oops, I lost you. And the guy Fortunoff is looking at me, and I was just like, wrap up the $600 tree. The rest of these look like a Charlie Brown tree that just got thrown out and then run over by a garbage truck. I can't have that.
No, listen, there's certain stature you must maintain as the captain of Christmas on this show, and I think we should at some point you should live on the air take your computer and show everybody your tree. Maybe not tonight, but
I would have to. You'd have to maybe if you send me another link.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I could operate off the same link. I could sign on with my phone.
You can certainly do that, but I can always send you another link. I'm just saying, I think that maybe next week to open the show, you should be standing by the tree with your phone, kind of so everybody gets the feel of it.
Oh, okay. You know what? I know the perfect thing to do then.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to announce it here.
Okay.
We'll have it ready to go for next week. So if you would be gracious enough as to tell me, remind me so that I don't forget with my Swiss cheese brain as of late, I will have everything ready to go, and we will celebrate Xmas right there on the air to kick it off, man.
Yep, and guys, we're a couple weeks away. I'm going to announce a couple of guests. I know that we've got the Rosebank boy. I had a long conversation with him last night. A hell of a nice man, big baseball fan, and a hell of a singer. Mr. Leonard Torselli, a guy who grew up on Chestnut Avenue in Rosebank, as I found out last night. But I think up by the Garibaldi. And Len's going to come on, talk a little baseball with Jeff and I, and he's going to sing a few Christmas songs. So I'll announce that on the crisp right off the bat that Leonard Torselli will be singing and hanging out with us with Jeff and I for a few minutes on the December 17th Big Christmas Spectacular.
Nice
to hear out there. We also, I just talked to Tom Motz. Might have some of the guys from Serial Obsession calling in or performing, and we might have some guys at about 1:00 in the morning in Sweden, Jeff, performing an acoustic song for us. The band Pressure, who you heard to open the show tonight. And it might be our Christmas theme music, if I can get them to say okay, because I kind of enjoyed the song.
I got it. That sounded angry. You sure?
Yes. I liked it. It's metal. It's Christmas, and it's from Sweden.
Well, listen, I can only go by what you're telling me, but that reminds me of like the music that must have been playing in the atmosphere during, say, 1943 Nazi Germany.
Well, if I was thinking about that when I was listening to the song, I wanted to have a stein of ale and be, you want to be doing that like during that song. That just was, it kind of got me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, man.
So
maybe like kicking the shit out of the neighbor. Don't you have any old neighbors that you can bring in? Hey, I want to show you something real quick.
I thought about that. I live in the retirement community. I thought about maybe at some point doing a kind of like a pressure campaign, going around and telling my neighbors I'll protect them for a weekly fee. And thought about it because like probably one of the younger people living here.
You may be the youngest.
I might be. So, well, we got a lot to get to tonight, guys. We took a week off. We're well rested, although last week was a tough week to take off. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I'll give you kind of heads up. We're going to talk a lot about the Tyson fight, even though Jeff didn't see it. You saw it?
That's what you say.
Okay.
I did take some time and watch it just a little while ago on YouTube.
Okay, good.
And I have some feelings about this fight, man.
I want to get there's
people that spend money on that thing, man.
I did. I spent my $49.99, and I'll tell you the whole thing because I'm sure you saw the fight, but there was a lot of other things. There was a bunch of other fights. One or two were good. The rest of them were just terrible.
Nate Robinson's got brain damage.
Oof, what a punch!
We got to talk about that too, man.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's on the list, and I got it queued up, so we'll play it and we'll talk about it. But I will tell you that that is the true definition of you do not play boxing when you box. That is that does just because you're an athlete does not mean that you are a good boxer. And he found out the hard way.
Got to agree with that totally, man. This is all I'm going to say about that, and until we really get into it. That fight should have been stopped way before this guy fucking went to sleep, man.
Absolutely right.
God, the referee should be fucking investigated.
We're going to talk about Pat Patterson passing away. We're going to talk about The Undertaker.
First openly gay wrestler.
Yes.
Not while he was wrestling.
No, later on.
God, I don't even want to think. I can't even watch any of his old matches now, knowing what might have been going through his mind.
Well, Roddy Piper used to tell a story about how Pat Patterson was putting the moves on him in the locker room when he first came up. Now, I didn't see any of that kind of stuff. I saw Jake the Snake. I saw, who else did I see? Mick Foley and what's his name? Not Owen Hart, the other Hart brother. Bret Hart. All come out and say very nice things about him when he passed away. So we'll talk a little bit about Pat Patterson. I want to talk about Mark the Bird Fidrich. I saw his documentary. It's a few years old, but I want to talk a little bit. He died. Yeah. It's funny. It's not funny. You know how he died? Now I didn't know if he died or not until the very end because I just, kind of glanced on it. He was working. He, after baseball, he bought a farm and then he owned a dump truck. So one day he was home alone and was under the dump truck doing some repairs. No, and I thought the same thing, that it fell on him. No, his clothes got caught in the drive shaft and it choked him to death.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. I was saying to myself, if there's a bad way to go, that's got to be in the top 10, maybe top 5 on bad ways to go.
Listen, I could say this much. Okay, I'm not a mechanic.
Yeah.
But I work at a garage.
Yes, you do.
Okay? And with some big trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't get strangled. He didn't. No. His death was pretty quick, I would imagine, and probably relatively painless.
It's possible, but we'll talk about Tom Brady is a sore loser. Is that good or bad? Does one?
That team is getting ready to fucking implode, man.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They got the coaches coming down on that. That is not a good situation over there, but we'll get to that.
Boom. I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll talk about Eddie Van Halen missed out on the Kitchen Sink tour. We'll talk about Kiss doing a live show New Year's Eve from Dubai. We got the Giants. We got some Jets. We got a lot of football. We got a lot of crazy football stuff. So we got plenty to get to tonight right here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. We're glad you joined us again.
I just noticed on the bottom of the screen, trying to drum up business. How does everyone like my hat? Look at my hat.
Holiday season, baby. It's the holiday season. We say Merry Christmas here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show. We're glad you guys tuned in. We got a couple weeks before the big Christmas spectacular, as we call it. And I'm looking forward. The holidays around the corner. And Jeff, I know I've asked you this in the past, and I couldn't remember the answer, so I'm bringing it back up again tonight. And every week, I'm going to throw a couple of Christmas things at you. Okay. Here's 2 I'm going to throw at you tonight. I don't want you to answer them now. We're going to get to it later.
Okay.
I want to know, what is the worst Christmas song of all time?
Oh, there's a lot.
No, but there's one that's worse. One that's at the very top of the heap.
But of your heap or
my heap? For sure, my heap. I'm not sure about your heap. It's one of those songs that if I was like 600 yards away and I heard somebody's house and it was playing, I would run through the door to shut it off. That's how bad the song is. So I'll tell you what mine is later than yours. And I'm going to ask you, Jeff, is Die Hard and Lethal Weapon Christmas movies? Don't answer it, because I know we've had the conversation, but I couldn't remember the answer. So this week will be these 2 worst Christmas song, and our Die Hard and Lethal Weapon Christmas movies. And I want to ask you, I'm going to follow it up with, what makes a movie a Christmas movie? Because there are some things that, listen, like Miracle on 34th Street is an obvious Christmas movie. Okay, It's a Wonderful Life is an obvious Christmas movie. But there are some that aren't necessarily obvious Christmas movies. And I want to find out from you tonight, what makes a movie a Christmas movie?
Okay.
So we'll get to that. We got plenty to talk about tonight. Again, if you watch the Tyson I won't even call it fight, debacle. My apologies to you. I stayed up till near 2 a.m. to watch it.
No.
Yes, it didn't go on until after 12. I think it went on at 12:30.
That's what time the fight itself started?
Yeah, 12:30. Because don't
What
forget,
a Tyson fight. What time did he actually hit the
12:30.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So by the time it started, by the time they went through the whole thing, and then you watch the aftermath, and I'll give you one tidbit. Afterwards, I found out he said he couldn't help himself, but he had to smoke pot before the fight. Listen, we'll get to it after. I'll pick up my dad right now. But the thing was, the entire thing was brought to you by Weed Maps.
Yeah, I saw some advertising in the back of
Well,
what
I can tell you, there's a lot of rappers, including Snoop Dogg. I think Sugar Ray Leonard might have been on, had done a little himself because he sounded like he was comatose when he was doing the play-by-play.
Sugar Ray Leonard got hit in the head literally tens of thousands of times in his lifetime.
Yeah, well,
maybe that he's naturally high.
Maybe it's possible. Well, let's get my dad. Let's see what he wants to talk about.
You may be able to just tell Sugar Ray, you're stoned right now. I guess.
I'm telling you, he was about as monotone, but he sounded like he was so depressed that he had to leave his house. Very good fight. I don't know. I swear to God, it was like I the only thing I screwed up. I didn't go look for audio of tonight for it, but next week I'll put up some audio. You can hear, yeah, it was. Good fight, and I got hit in the head. Sam Ray, shut up, speak. Put a little fire in there. Oh, let's get my dad. Let's see what he's got to say. And then 8 o'clock, we got Rafael Esparza, our head odds maker at mybookie.ag. He'll be popping in to talk to us about the Tyson fight. So I'll probably hold it till then. Between now and then, we got plenty to talk about: Jets, Giants, NFL news, his football games all over the place. And let's get my dad. See what he wants to talk about. Hey, Pop.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Florida?
How was your holiday, Jeff?
Good. I'm sorry. Very good. Very good. Thank you. How about yours?
I'm good. Very good. It was very nice. You know, I meant to ask you. I wasn't even going to think of it till you mentioned it. You think there's a possibility that Tom Brady, is going to wind up losing some of his mystique because I watched the other game today, the game. I mean, he looked like a good quarterback, but he did not look like anything so spectacular. And I think sometimes he's like a fighter. Some of these guys are like fighters. They don't know when to stop. Joe Louis. Well, Louis because of the money and everything. But, I mean, Brady, eventually, he's going to lose, has to lose some of his mystique. What do you think?
Well, I'll go first on it. I'll tell you here's why I think you're right, Dad. It's not necessarily the way he's playing, but it's the way his own coach is basically saying, well, when our quarterback plays well enough, we win, and when he doesn't, we lose. And I think that in itself is kind of a damning thing if you're Tom Brady. I think if he while they're winning and they have a winning record and they're going to go to the playoffs. Yeah, I think his mystique, his legend, Jeff. I think he's taking a little bit of a hit right now.
Of course, it's taking a little bit of a hit. Last year, they were saying that he wasn't the same quarterback, so they signed him. And this is a team that's trying to win now. And not for nothing, I think that it's getting to the point where maybe Tom Brady starting to run out of gas. You're talking about a 43-year-old man that's trying to avoid getting hit. Isn't as fast as he once was, and he wasn't fast to begin with. Doesn't have enough zip on the ball like he once did. He could still let it loose once in a while, but he doesn't have it to maintain a whole game like that. And it's just starting to show, I believe. And, what could you do? You can't fight Father Time. You're not going to outrun him. That's all there is to it.
Well, I mean, listen, they are 7-4. They are one of the better teams in the NFC. And I would say, listen, I think you get out of Tom Brady I think he's playing better than he did last year, Jeff. I mean, we both thought last year he was done, and I think it's been a little better this year.
Listen, I mean, is he putting up terrible numbers? Definitely not. But, in this league at this point in time with no preseason and the way that everything happened, I guess they're looking for more from him. They're hoping that he plays better and plays, is just a different quarterback. And I just don't think that he has it in him. much longer.
Well, listen, he's thrown for 3,300 yards, 7 yards an attempt, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not terrible numbers.
No, not terrible numbers, but 11 interceptions. That's not really Brady-like numbers.
No, but Dad, don't you think? I think that Brady. Here's the thing for Tom Brady, Dad, and I think here's what helps or hurts his thing is what does he do when they get to the playoffs? Okay, when they get to the playoffs, if he's Tom Brady and they get to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, I think his mystique stays the same. His legend stays the same. I think if they get beat early, or they don't make the playoffs, I think that's where his legend takes the beating.
Well, I kind of think his defense helps him out a lot. And I think one of his big problems is he went over to Tampa thinking that he was going to run the offense. And because you can see when they talk to him, I mean, they're actually screaming. He does, maybe with Belichick, he was able to call his own game. Belichick, they would send in a play, and if he didn't like it, he'd change it. Now maybe they don't like that idea. He played for two different coaches now. And two different personalities.
Sure.
And and that's I don't know. I see him playing and everything is the 15-yard passes, 20 yards if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
No, here's the thing, Dad. I think the difference is Belichick would never dress him down in public. He may have chewed him out and that's why they didn't get along. Or may have got on him off the field, and that's why he ultimately left. Because I still don't understand why he would leave, but I think there in Tampa, Arians just called him out. He flat out says, when you play well, we win. When you don't play well, we lose. And I think Tom Brady's not used to that kind of scrutiny in public. I think that's the bigger thing.
No, you're probably right. I just see. I mean, I don't know why he's playing. I know it can't be the money.
No, definitely not.
Him and his wife have got enough money.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you have to know that someday you're going to get clocked. You're going to get clocked good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they protect them now. I mean, I'm talking about the referees. You can't even look at him without getting a penalty flag. So, I don't know.
Well,
I just think she should call it quits.
Well, it's a good question, Jeff. I mean, Brady has said he wanted to play till he's 45 years old. He's 43. I think he's played better. He's looked better than he did last year, especially at the end of the year. At this point, they're going to make the playoffs. Tom Brady's back next year, Jeff, or is he done? Is this it?
I don't know. I think he's a selfish player, so he's going to come back or attempt to come back. Will somebody else want him back? And when I mean selfish, it's that, like you said, if he has said in his mind that he's going to play till he's 45, he's going to try to play someplace till he's 45. I just wonder if there's no place in the NFL for Tom Brady, would he look for an alternative league like Canada and try to stretch it out? No, don't just say no, Tom.
I'd be shocked.
Do you ever think that Brady and Belichick wouldn't be together on the same
team?
No,
I have to agree with you, Jeff. So I guess really nothing's off the table. You're right.
But, I mean, it's how determined is he to play? And after a while, are you even doing your team any justice by being out on the field if you're not taking care of business, so to speak?
Yeah, it's fair questions. I think here's the thing for me. If he goes out and wins a Super Bowl, I think he's done. Now, I don't think that team's good enough to win a Super Bowl, but right now, I think there's maybe one team in the NFL that I would say is a legit Super Bowl contender right now. Everybody else could win or lose week to week. I don't think there's more than one. Maybe if you want to include the Steelers, but what I saw yesterday from the Steelers, that don't look like a Super Bowl team.
Listen, we have some friends, some people that we know, however you'd like to put it, that complain about the Steelers. And what do you want? This is a team that's 10-0. They can have a down game.
11-0 now.
11-0. 11-0. You don't think they're entitled to a game where they weren't on their, game, so to speak, and they're still. I mean, come on. You're talking about a team that I think that you're talking about a good team.
Good team. I agree.
I expect it to be Kansas City and Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship.
I can't argue. I wouldn't argue that 1 second. But here's the thing. I mean, they could wind up. Let's say the Steelers run the table 16-0. They're going to Pittsburgh, and Kansas City's 15-1. I could see a possibility where Kansas City's actually the favorite team in that game.
I believe that. I would go. I myself would take Kansas City as a favorite.
I mean, think about it. They could run the table, Pittsburgh 16-0, and play Kansas City, Dad, 15-1 at home, and still be the dog in that game.
You're playing a Kansas City's got a good team.
Yeah,
they got great receivers, and this kid's got an arm on him. I haven't seen an arm like that I think since Terry Bradshaw. He's got a perfect spiral. He knows his game, and you can see he knows what he's doing.
His receivers are a big help.
I really don't, but anything can happen, as we all know.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah,
his receivers are a huge help to him, man.
Oh,
that one guy, what's his name? Number 10.
Tyreek Hill.
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Yes, Tyreek Hill. I couldn't think of his name for a second. This guy's like, forget it. Like amazing the speed that he has. You know, it's just maybe not the most solid citizen in the world. You know,
that's
stories we heard about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but I mean, good God, the guy's like a fucking laser.
Yeah, listen, and here's the funny part of it, though, Jeff, and we'll go back to Brady for one more second, Dad. Even Brady, as bad as he is Brady bad based on the caliber of play in the NFL for quarterbacks, or just the old Tom Brady that we're used to? Because if you look around the league, after the first maybe 5 or 10 starting quarterbacks, there isn't another quarterback even close to Brady. And then as far as backups go, there's not a backup in this league that you could tell me comes in and gives you any sort of, I mean, I know you didn't see the game, but did you see Robert Griffin III, who was supposed to be the next great quarterback, had 5 yards passing in the third quarter yesterday?
Come on, dude. The guy hasn't played in God knows how long.
But I'm saying is, Tom Brady, as bad as he may be right now in our eyes, is still a top 10 quarterback in this league. Easily.
Yeah, but they got him as a GOAT, Tommy.
No, I got it, Dad, but but that doesn't change.
70, 80%.
No, I got that, but that's not his fault. Again, he's not in his prime. If Patrick Mahomes played down to Brady's level, you go, hey, this kid's in his prime, and he's there's a guy who's been around for 20-something years, 40-something years old, still playing at a relatively high level, considering all the other guys who are in this league who can't even compare.
Yeah, but you're looking at it from a logical point, and I agree with what you're saying. I agree. He's probably better than most, let's say 80% of the quarterbacks in the league right now. I agree with you, but he's not. When you say Tom Brady, people genuflect, and I'm not saying that he wasn't a good quarterback. Okay, I agree. But when you say Tom Brady, he goes down. But now you're saying you see him come off the field, you see him shaking his head, you see him getting his rear end reamed out. That's not him. No. That's not Babe Ruth. That's not Lou Gehrig. That's not Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
He's not a 500 play. He's not a 750. He's 6 Super Bowls. So I just think if I were him, well, maybe it doesn't bother him whether he becomes number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Maybe some guys are not that, don't bother them.
No, I think he's out to win. Let me ask you a question, Jeff. You watched enough football this year. You've seen enough highlights this year. Is Tom Brady still a Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback?
I hate to say he's capable, I believe, of getting a team to a Super Bowl. If he was going up against the Mahomes, maybe Goff if he's hot, Tom Brady. I'm not Tom Brady. Roethlisberger, Rodgers. I don't know if he's capable of beating those guys. Is he still capable of putting a team on his back and carrying a team? I don't know. I don't know if he can or not. Is he still very good? Definitely. He could definitely. I would say that he's better than Peyton was in his last year.
I agree with that 100%. Yes.
Okay, but for how much longer? All of us know, he could go out next Sunday and just be like, I just can't throw the ball past the linebackers. I can't. That's what's going to happen with Tom Brady one day.
That's what happened to Peyton Manning. One year he threw for 40 touchdowns. The next year he couldn't throw 10 yards.
Yeah, but I think it's going to end up happening to Brady in the middle of the season.
I won't argue that. Do you? It is probably what Brady is. You're 100% right. Bad shoulder, bad elbow. Something goes wrong. One of these games coming up. Could be this year, could be next year, and all of a sudden he's just not there anymore.
I mean, listen, dude. You walk through your house in the morning, you bang into a doorway, you hit your elbow in the doorway or something, and that's it. Your day is ruined.
Sure.
Imagine some 300-pound guy, falling on him and landing on his shoulder or his elbow getting crunched or something.
Yeah.
It could be the end of it. You don't know. The guy's been relatively healthy.
Yep.
I mean, like healthy specimen for his career.
Yeah.
It doesn't miss anything at all.
He really missed one season when he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
That was about it. Hey, Dad, I'll ask you that same question. You think you've seen enough football this year? Could Tom Brady still take a team to the Super Bowl and win?
The difference was, Tommy, when he played with, what do you call him?
The Patriots, yep.
Okay? He could go out there and take, like you said once before, play guys, receivers that weren't great, make them look great. Because he was so accurate with his passes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today he can't do that. To me, he can't do that no more. I see a lot of balls. I see balls thrown a little bit behind, a little, what was it against Kansas City? He had 3 interceptions in a row or something. I mean, I think it was Kansas City he played. He had 3 interceptions. I mean, it reminds me of a lot of quarterbacks that I've seen over the years, whether it was Brett Favre. I remember Joe Namath. They think they still the young guy that can pin that, throw that ball right through the needle. All right, well, they can't do it no more. They don't have the power. He can't carry receivers. That's the way I look at it. He can't carry a receiver like he did before. Make that like you always said. He never had a quarter. I don't think any of his receivers he ever had are going to wind up in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I'll tell you. Oh boy.
Not for their time with him. Not for their.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Yeah, because Randy Moss is in or will be in, but not for New England. Yeah. No, it makes sense. I agree.
Listen, here's proof in the pudding right now. Okay, the guy that the Jets picked up, what was his name? Fucking Hogan or some shit.
Chris Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that it?
Yeah.
They picked him up from New England, and I remember him playing against the Jets, and he was good. He was pretty good. Mm-hmm. He played like 5 games with the Jets this year, if that, and then he ended up hurting himself, and that's been it. So once again, Belichick lets people go when he's done with them, and he ain't getting nothing else out of them.
That's the Belichick way. He's you say, oh my God, he let Malloy free, and then you realize that Malloy just wasn't the same player anymore. Saying he's done it with everybody. Again, the only guy who probably hung on to maybe too long, I don't know, is Brady. He was the one guy that had
why not this year?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see. We'll see. It's coming to an end. We'll see.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you go.
Thanks, Pops.
Good night. I'll see you over the weekend.
I will see you.
I'll call you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay, buddy. Talk to you then.
You got it, Pops.
You too.
See you later, Mr. Florio. Be good.
That's my dad. Checks in every week here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show. 347-826-9934 and 4 is on the radio side. Of course, most of you are watching these 2 lovely, handsome men on your screens here and through our Facebook page. We're here every Thursday night from 7 to 10, talking sports, talking music. We got a lot to get to still tonight. Rafael Esparza will be popping in a few. But let's see. Jeff, let me stay on the Tom Brady topic since we're already there.
Okay.
And a couple weeks ago, he lost to Kansas City. Bad. And he didn't play exceptionally well. It was a close game. It was a close finish. But it wasn't that game. It was the Ram game that they lost. And Brady looked bad. He threw a terrible pick to end the game. I don't know if you saw it. He threw a terrible pick to end the game. He had a chance to come back, and he threw a ball down the field he never should have thrown. And the game ended, and Tom Brady took off. Didn't do the ceremonial meet at midfield, shake hands with the other team's quarterback. And a big deal was made out of it. And people were like, oh, he's a sore loser. He's out there shaking hands when he wins and blah, blah, blah. And I said to myself, I don't really have a problem with a guy being a sore loser. I get that it's not right, but, I don't have a major problem when a guy loses and doesn't want to go yuck it up on the field with the other team. I mean, what if it was not Tom Brady, Jeff? Do you have a problem with a player who takes losing personal enough? I mean, Jamal Adams has been famous for that. They just say he used to go in the locker room and cry when the Jets lost.
Well, listen, crying when the Jets lost is a way of life. That's another story.
That's a
But
different.
as far as Tom Brady goes,
Yeah,
you're a little bit of a different player. You're in the spotlight.
Mhm.
People want to see what you're doing. Want to know everything about you. This, that, and the other thing.
Mhm.
I think you kind of owe it to the fans, and especially depending on where the loss is. Show to be a better man than that, and
Right.
just go over. Yeah, good game. Even if you just go to the coach and the quarterback. And then if people come up to you, that's one thing. But if they don't, you make your way into your locker room. You go into your locker room and do whatever it is you got to do. I'm not going to say it cheapens the win or the loss. It doesn't. That would be bullshit.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? For the younger people, the kids that play or watch, it may be nice for them to lose graciously. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get
Other
it.
than that,
Because I tell you what, does anybody else really know? Like
Brady anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, does anybody else really know if anybody else goes out there and shakes hands and pays attention? I mean, really, they show the coaches and they show the quarterbacks.
They always show the bigger name players. Yeah, I agree with you with that. They're not going to go after the punter and see who he's going to talk to after the game if he's even on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit about him. But you know what? When you're Tom Brady, it's a different story. You're not talking about Geno Smith making a surprise start for the Seahawks because the Wilson doesn't feel good or something. He's got the shits, so he can't go on the field. You're talking about Tom Brady. The guy's been when he leaves, he's going to be one of those players you're going to feel the loss.
I agree with that. I think whether you like Tom Brady or you hate him, you don't get many guys coming through your generation that way. Now, Patrick Mahomes could be that guy. I don't know. Will he win 6 Super Bowls or 10 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls? But right now, Tom Brady's staring in front of you, a guy who's been to 9, won 6. That doesn't happen in every generation. In fact, it probably hasn't happened in any other generation.
Well, it hasn't happened in any generation. He's the first one to do it.
Yeah.
But just knowing that you made yourself a high-profile player from your career.
Yeah.
People know who you are. They know your coach and everything else. You're kind of obligated to do certain things. And
I agree.
What is I've seen football coaches barely acknowledge one another in the middle of the field. That they didn't want to go there and do that. Whether they disliked one another or just didn't want. I just want to get out of here and get the fuck home. That's all.
No, I agree. Listen, I don't have a problem either way with it. But if I had to add, if Tom Brady called me up and said, "Tom, what do?" I would say, "Tom, go out there, shake a hand." It's a young quarterback. He's probably had your poster on the wall at the end of at the foot of his bed. Go out there, shake the man's hand, wish him congratulations, and then go in the dugout, go in the locker room and throw your helmet against the wall and go in the shower and let off some steam. But shake a hand. I don't see any problem with. I don't think there's anything wrong with having to hold the guy accountable to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And unfortunately, in today's sports environment, with the way that everything is scrutinized because you're videotaped from every which angle that you don't even want to know about, it's everybody's going to catch everything that you do.
Yeah.
First time somebody makes mention of it, that's it. They're on the lookout for it. They're going to say, well, you know what? After every loss, this guy doesn't say anything to anybody. He just storms off the field. And that's it. You know what? You've played and won enough where you should lose graciously also.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I don't disagree with you. And I think it's something that I think Brady will probably regret. But it is what it is. But let's talk about other regrets. Other regrets is when you're young and you choose the team you root for. They wear pathetic colors. They never win. And they keep hiring bad coaches, drafting bad quarterbacks, have ugly green uniforms.
As opposed to ugly blue uniforms.
We have one of the best uniforms in the game, but let's stay off my big first place team. Please. Jeff, let's talk a little about the Jets.
You opened up a can of worms. That's it. Now it's time to unload. Your fucking uniforms, they look like they were ordered to match a flag and they just got fucking beat colors.
Oh.
Sorry, this is the best we can do. They were out in the sun too long. They fucking faded. Fucking sorry ass team and that. Jesus Christ.
Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're done. You put your
I'm
pathetic
done.
tirade. Okay, so let's talk about the Jets. There's been a lot of talk. Woody Johnson should be returning to the team soon. Now that he'll probably be stepping down or being asked to step down as ambassador to Great Britain.
Will he be stepping down?
Probably. I most of the time, new presidents come in. They want to put their own people in their own places, or he may not want to work for the Biden team. I haven't officially heard, but I've heard some conversations about it. So,
my question is with the preemptive pardons. Talk of the preemptive pardons that's going on is like that whole administration facing jail, possibly.
You know what? To be honest with you, Jeff, I haven't heard one legitimate or even scandal in that way. I mean, the people who got in trouble during this were guys who got in trouble for doing stuff well before. Like, so I'm saying, so now I don't know, maybe a year from now stuff will come out that there was some shady dealings. It's quite possible. Happens basically to every administration.
Yeah, you can't go by that. Of course, if something doesn't come out, then it means they just got enough money to fucking hide it.
It's again, I won't argue. It's happened. Right. So, will that affect? I don't know. I mean, at this point, there should be no reason why he can't come back. I don't know if he wants to come back to run the Jets organization. I would tell you the Jets need a major purging. I'm still not a fan of getting rid of Gase in middle of the year. I don't think there's any, anything to be done with that. I think my biggest thing for the Jets.
I can tell you why.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me just finish this, then you can kind of go off on it because I know you got a good thought on it. But to me is what happens to Sam Darnold in the future? And I've heard some Jet fans. I listen to a lot of sports radio now. Driving home, I was doing a lot of the political stuff, and now kind of settled back into the sports radio. And a lot of fans want the Jets to keep Sam Darnold as a backup to Trevor Lawrence if they're lucky enough to, or unlucky enough, I don't know how you want to put it, to draft Trevor Lawrence. And then the other thought process for them is, well, if we got rid of Sam and then we don't have the number one pick, what happens then? Like, what if we have number 2? So, Jeff, is there any chance that you as a Jet fan could say, hey, let's keep Sam and let him and Trevor bounce, play for it next year?
Not at all, because then you're always keeping Trevor Lawrence with the possibility that, you have one bad game, that's it, that's why I wanted to bring up Tua.
Go ahead. Please
make sure we get into that too.
Yeah, we'll go right into it.
As soon as Trevor Lawrence throws an interception or a pick six, then they're gonna they're gonna start calling for Donald. So no, I wouldn't want that. They've already ruined two young quarterbacks within the last 10 years with Mark Sanchez and Donald. So no, I can't. And Geno Smith to an extent. So I can't say that I want to see that. What I would want to see is them to sign Joe Flacco to another year or two.
Makes sense.
He's actually come on and played better than Donald has. Now, I'm not saying that he's starter material at this point in time in his career, but at least he knows his role. He knows why he's there. He brings stuff to the table. Where Donald is still having fucking trouble seeing what color shirt his teammates are wearing, and still fucking up, doing things that you shouldn't be doing. This is why they're talking about Trevor Lawrence. If the Jets get the number 1 pick, okay, with all the Trevor Lawrence talk about, is he coming out? I don't know, maybe next year. If he comes out and the Jets have the number 1 pick, he knows he's going to the Jets.
Yes.
That means to me that he wants to play for the New York Jets.
Well, let me ask you this question. I mean, I know the talk about him going back for college next year and senior year. Whether you play for the 0-16 Jets or the 2-14 Bengals, or the 2-14 Jaguars, does it really matter? Because you're going to play for the worst team in football, whether it's this year or next year. And I
understand that, but the Jets, the Jets are a special kind of bad, not because they're 0-16, but because of their historic.
I get it.
Team. So it's not just it's a team. You have to have a lot of belief in the New York Jets to say, I want to go there and play. Okay, right
Yeah.
now, who is their biggest star right now on this team?
I would say probably Quentin Williams has having a pretty good year, or maybe it's May.
He's had a couple good game stretch. He hasn't had a good year.
No, he's had a better year than I expected. I maybe May, the safety, maybe May's their best player.
Haven't heard his name mentioned.
He's played well. I've watched enough Jet games, but okay. Do they have a star? I don't know.
Williams and the new left tackle. That's about it.
Okay.
Maybe Mims has been coming on a little bit, but the bottom line is that there's nobody there. So when you walk through the door, you're right away. You're going to the top of the class.
Sure.
Okay? So now, if you're Trevor Lawrence, you got to realize that if you turn around and say, "All right, listen, I'm going to the NFL," then you know that you're getting taken by the Jets. Let's say the Jets will finish 0-16 or finish with the number 1 pick. You know you're going to the Jets. You know you're going to a team that's not going to be much better next year than they are this year.
No.
Okay.
Well, don't forget. Wait, they do have 9 draft picks coming up, I think, and $100 million to spend.
That's wonderful. When was the last time the Jets hit on more than 1 draft pick?
No, I got you, but you got it.
If they have 95,
you said you have a lot of faith in Joe Douglas. He's got money and draft picks. They could turn this around. I mean, look at Miami. Miami is 7-4, and maybe an argument can be made the best team in the AFC East.
Possibly AFC East winning the AFC
yeah.
East. But right now we're talking New York Jets, and I will say this much.
Go ahead.
And this is the thing you got to understand. Phillip Rivers and Eli were traded because they didn't want to play on the respective teams that they were drafted by. Okay, so they caused a problem. But Trevor Lawrence has to know, do you want to go to Jacksonville? Who wants to go to Jacksonville? I would rather go on the 0-16 Jets than the 2-14 fucking Jaguars. Okay, that's one thing.
Agreed.
Second of all, if he's coming out, because he has the option to go back.
He does.
Senior year. If he's coming out, that means to me that he's looking forward to playing for the Jets. That's one thing. 2, he knows he's going there, and he's psyched to do it, and he thinks that he's going to accomplish something. So to me, that means he's a player possessed in my eyes. So I want to see if that's what happens. If he comes out and he's like, I'm going to go for my, I'm not going to come out. I'm going to go for my senior year. Well, then he wasn't the player for the Jets in the first place.
I would agree with that. I disagree a little bit with your first one, but the second part I agree with you 100%. If he goes back to college next year, because the Jets, then if you're the Jets, you don't want a guy like that.
No.
Listen. I think he's a good ball player. Will that translate to Super Bowl wins? I have no idea. What kind of team will you put around them? I'm not sure. But I think if you're a Jet fan, I think the ugliness of being a Jet fan would have to be if they come out and find a way to win a game or 2 down the stretch and come out and get the second pick of the draft. Now you're screwed.
Well, no, you're not really screwed. You know why? Because that kid from Ohio State looks like he's going to be a good quarterback. That kid from Alabama is doing
Mac
pretty
Jones.
good. That kid from Florida State, I think it is, the Gators.
Kyle Trask. Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some of him, some of his games. He's been playing good. I mean, listen, is it Trevor Lawrence all the way? I would like to say yeah, but you know what, Tom? He hasn't looked all that sharp this year. I know he's been out 2 games.
Yeah, it's a tough one this year, but you're right. You
know what I mean? Right now, if I had to pick right now, you put a gun to my head and you say you got to pick somebody right now this very second.
Yeah.
I think that I would lean towards the kid from Ohio State.
Here's my problem with Justin Fields, and it's the same as I have with every other quarterback that's come out of Ohio State in the last 20 years. None of them go to the pros and play well. I mean, Dwayne Haskins can't even on one of the worst teams in football, on a team with a quarterback who's had 17 surgeries to fix his leg. He can't start in Washington.
I know that.
So, I mean, and the guys
along the line, there's got to be somebody. How many colleges is there, and how many Super Bowl winning quarterbacks is there?
Oh, listen, I get it. I get it.
So
listen,
that alone speaks for itself.
If you're the Jets, listen, I get it. Justin Fields may turn to be a good pro. He's a good college player, really good college player. But there's a significant drop between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, in my opinion, in the pro level.
Well, we can't say that because neither one of them is in the pros.
I got it, but
I
I'm saying is
understand
when
what
I
you're
watch
saying,
their
but we
game
don't know for sure.
when I watch their game when I watch their game in college, I don't see it. Now you're right, 100%. Everybody thought Sam Darnold's game in college was going to translate to great things in the pros. Hasn't happened. Could be where he ended up. It could be he wasn't there anyway. Who knows?
I feel bad for Sam Darnold. I really do. I feel bad for Sam
Sure,
Darnold.
of course, I can see that.
But you know what? It would it have made a difference if it was Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady playing for the Jets? I think that they would still be a bad team all of this years because the coaching the coaching is horrendous. Adam Gase, they say that I didn't watch that many Jet games because they just totally suck. They just watch football in general. You know what I mean? And just really didn't root for one team in general like I normally do. And I watch very little bit of the Jets. I've seen highlights and I scratch my head and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And the way that Adam Gase says, oh no, I'm not calling the plays, but yet you see him calling the plays.
Yeah.
And
Can't
it's
help
like,
himself.
you can't even lie. You can't even lie. You're just so bad. At this point in time, if I was Johnson, I fire Adam Gase. I promote Greg Williams to interim head coach. Tell him that there's no chance you're going to be head coach for next year, so forget it.
Yeah.
But I want you to push these young players. I don't want to see anybody on the field that's here for more than 3 years. All fucking young guys, rookies. I want to see what I got. I got 9 draft picks coming. I want to see what I got and what I need to do and take it from there. See if there's a diamond in the rough. They keep giving Gore the ball. They did all year long. Didn't that young running back, he got hurt?
Yeah, LaMichael Prine, yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't even fucking get a look at him.
No.
So you don't even know what he's about.
Yeah, I want to talk more about Darnold and backup quarterbacks because, here's the thing. And real quick, because Raphael just popped up, I want to get him on because I want to talk Tyson fight. I want to talk about coaches in the NFL. We're going to go right to the coaches in the NFL getting fired, and I want to get his take on a couple of them. But, it's so bad. I remember back in the 70s, 80s, you had backup quarterbacks like Mark Malone, Danny White, Hostetler.
Listen, let me stop you right there. You had names. And people knew who they were. So you had people that could come out onto the field and play and guide your team to a win. Nowadays,
well, that's my point.
You don't have anybody.
Well, that's my point. Forget about the names. Those guys were at least guys
I
like
don't mean that you had names. I mean, you had names, household names that people knew. All right, because they were a good quarterback.
Right. But by saying Marino goes out, he had Don Strock for a couple of years. Sims goes down in 90 and 7-year backup, Jeff Hostetler trots on and wins the Super Bowl. Just the level when you go out there, you can't tell me that there's any backup quarterback in this league that I can think of that you would say, hey, he's got to play this week. And you think he's got to I'll do it the guy Cole McCoy, who I liked in college at Texas, loved him at Texas, hasn't had a good pro career. I think he's a solid backup, but he doesn't give me goosebumps and say, "Oh, I got a chance to win this week." I mean, they might anyway. I don't know, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet on it. So I think Sam Darnold may have an opportunity to go and sell himself as in a job where maybe he may be the best backup quarterback in the league. I don't know.
Listen. Is there a chance that he's going to sign up as a backup? Without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
There's very few opportunities for him as a starter. Maybe Chicago, if they even want to go that route.
New England?
San Francisco, maybe New England.
Yeah, there's a few spots.
Maybe New Orleans.
Possibly. Yeah, sure.
You don't know, but is there, sometimes they say Geno Smith is one of the better backups in the league. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of hard to say that Sam Darnold is going to be. I understand what you're saying.
I want to get to it, but
just backup.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Again, it's more. There's not so much about Darnold, and let's get Raphael on. But it's more about why are there so many quarterbacks in college these days, and they come to the pros, and none of them have the ability to step in and win a football game. I mean, I really have to track my brain on that.
Before you pick him up to see where he can hear this, he could weigh in on this one too, because I asked you this earlier in the week. They're already, to me, it already sounds like they're talking bad about Tua. The guy's played 4 or 5 games, and it seems like they're questioning how far along he is. And it's like, First, the guy's coming off an injury. Second, he's in his rookie year. And why? Because he's not setting record week after week after week. That there's some questions if the guy is worthy to be a starter in the NFL. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, there's definitely some questions. Let's get him on. Let's get the head odds maker over at mybookie.ag on and see what he has to add to this. Raphael, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back, my friend.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, you New York Giants first place, and New York Jets probably going to be looking for some coaching jobs pretty soon.
Good.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because there's a couple interesting ones that have popped up. Then the Jets is not an interesting one. I think there's a bunch of candidates. I saw your props on it, and I think there's a lot of value to what the guys you put up there. But I'm curious about what you think of the one. Everybody's talking about maybe Peterson being done in Philly, and I think that's an interesting one because one, I never thought the guy was a great coach. I think he did a good job there, but I've never just felt he's been a great coach. But I also think that's a little premature to be pushing him out the door if Laurie wanted to do that. What's your thought?
Yeah, I think they give him one more year. If he struggles next year, I think he's gone. I think the interesting spot, even though I know they owe Wentz a lot of money, are they going to keep him? I think they do just because of the amount of money they owe him. But, I mean, maybe one has to stay, one has to go. I would not be shocked if both of them will give one more year at Philly, and then if all flops around, then they let go at either one or probably both. But I think if the list that I put on there, I would think Matt Nagy is the Chicago Bears head coach. I think he's probably at least trying to sell his condo right now.
Yeah, I think they're cleaning house. The quarterbacks are gone. The coach is gone. I think all of that there. But, here's the interesting part. If you're Peterson and you got 1 year under your belt, do you want Carson Wentz as your quarterback next year? And are you going to ride that? Are you going to ride that train to Loserville?
I agree. That's probably if he gets one more year and he feels that. I think that's what his probably biggest question is going to be: can I win at this one? Now, the only thing with Carson Wentz, he knows the system that they're running there. So if you get rid of him, and you got 1 year, and you bring a brand new quarterback. What does he know about the system? I think the offensive coordinator probably be very interesting to see if they keep him because let's face it, their offense has been horrible this year.
Right, it's horrible because Jeff, they have no offensive line. Wentz is a turnover machine, and has not looked like Carson Wentz that came out of the chute with all those high expectations. Jeff, if I'm Peterson, I don't know where I turn, but it ain't to Carson Wentz, Jeff.
Well, you know what? Listen, the only thing I could say is Carson Wentz has been getting hurt every year since he's been in the league. That's one thing. Okay, so you got to factor that in and think about that. Second, with COVID, with players opting out, players not getting warmed up enough because of no preseason, they're getting injured. A lot of teams have a lot of makeshift lines and a lot of makeshift, position players, so to speak, I guess you could say. But it's difficult. Maybe he needs another year with proper preseason and everything, and be seasoned going into the season, so to speak. These guys were just dead cold, and they didn't get no kind of warm-up games, no nothing. It's just go out there and play. Guys were getting hurt. Guys opted out.
I get that, but this isn't his second year, Jeff. This is not his second or third year.
But he was also had problems with his receivers. Yeah. He had a bad offensive line. Oh. There's more to it than he went out there with a complete team.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if they keep on losing games, if they bring in Jalen Hurts, let's say, to play, the last 2 games, and let's say if he lights it up or does anything success, then I think you might hear it's time to move on and get rid of Carson Wentz. Maybe we have our quarterback if Jalen Hurts gets in the game.
Well, I think if they right now, obviously everybody's still in play. If they were to lose a couple more games and maybe be on the fringe of being out of it, I think, and I've heard he's gotten quite a bit of the first team reps down there. I think you may see him in one of these games coming up if Wentz starts out and shits the bed, to be honest.
Yeah, because they can lose the next 3 games. They're at Green Bay, then they go to New Orleans, and then they're at Arizona before Christmas, and then maybe have Jalen Hurts play the last 2 games, go to Dallas, get him some reps at Dallas, and end the season at Washington or with Washington.
You got to remember this one thing. The NFC East is so bad that even if the Phillies Phillies. The Eagles lose 2 or 3 of the next games, they could still possibly be in the playoff hunt. So before they make a switch over to anybody else at quarterback, they may want to stay with Wentz because he has the most experience and maybe gives him the best chance to win right now. You know what I mean? Because if you hand it over to Hurts and he hasn't played that much and you're hoping that he can help your team out. But, even with the last 2 games of the season, maybe they win one of those 2 games, they win the division. You don't know.
No, I got it, but I think if you
make the switch over, if you're
I agree, but I think if you're Peterson and you know that your future relies on the quarterback play next year, I think I want to take a shot and take a look at Jalen Hurts at some point this year, because you're gonna have to make some decisions in the offseason that you might not have the proper offseason again next year. Who knows? We don't know what we're gonna get.
I think it'll be different next offseason.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I do want to talk about Raphael. Listen, you're finally tuned into the NFL schedules, and let me ask you a question. I know you put up whether or not there'll be an 18th week. I believe there will be. Do you think the NFL's done a decent job this year, or a good job battling all of this? And here's the bigger one I want you to add onto the end of this. Did they do the right thing with the Denver Broncos, make them play that game when they did and how they did?
No, I think it was the Denver Broncos situation. I think they, first of all, was poorly managed the whole situation, but I think it's one of the main reasons why is because Denver doesn't have a voice. They don't have that owner there that can say, hey, you know what, we're not going to do that. You think this would have happened in New England, the Saints, Pittsburgh, Chicago?
They do have John Elway, though. They do have Elway in their front office.
Elway wasn't out there. He wasn't out there complaining to the media on social media. I watched a couple of the newscasts in Denver just to see what they were saying. The newscasts, I watched a couple of their local news and nothing. I mean, if this was, let's say, New England, I'm sure Boston would be all over it, saying, why are we playing this game? I'm sure the owners. And another thing, I think they punished them because, let's face it, the quarterbacks all admit they were in meetings with their coaches with no mask on, and one quarterback totally lied about his tracing. He said, "Oh, I didn't go anywhere," and then the NFL asked his wife and kids, and we went to Pizza Hut one day, and we went like he totally lied. So I think it was a mixture of both.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and while on the surface I said to myself, I thought it was unfair they made them play. I think it was fair, and here's why. Okay, so the Ravens were out 20 players. So at what point is it the position, the amount of players? When is it not fair that team has to play a game? And this isn't anybody else's fault but their own team, regardless if it's one group of players. So to me, I thought it was fair, and I thought it was a shot across the bow of all the teams to say, police your backyard, because if you don't, this could happen to you.
I agree. I think if there was a big outbreak, let's say quarterbacks, offensive line, other positions, this was just straight up quarterbacks. I mean, it was nothing. I mean, I think they had one defensive guy that was on COVID, but that's because I think his aunt came down with COVID. I think they saw the aunt like maybe 4 days in advance, so that's why he was out there and he did test negative. But I kind of agree with you on that one. But
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I just really thought that they would probably at least move it to Tuesday. I mean, like every other game.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the NFL was giving them the big, FU. I think that was, if you can't police your own backyard. Now, they did it for the Ravens, and to me, Ravens' situation was probably even worse than Denver's. It just affected one big room for Denver, obviously, but. Go back to my original question. Do you think there's going to be a Week 18? I tend to believe that there will be.
I think there would be. I would like to see that just because I'm a big advocate because I want the Super Bowl on Valentine's Day. So that's my advocate. But I because let's say we still have how many weeks? 4 or 5 weeks left?
5 weeks left, yeah.
And this, I mean, cases are going up higher and higher and higher. So it would not be shocked because we still haven't even found out the cases of what happened during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I would not be shocked. I mean, let's face it, we have a team that's playing in Glendale, Arizona, that's at the San Francisco. So a lot can happen in a blink of an eye.
Jeff, what's your thought on that, Jeff?
Listen, it's just. Yeah. What could you do if your team, if sooner or later, these guys got to listen.
Well,
You know, you can't take the chance for a lot of different reasons. You infect the team, you infect families, you infect yourselves. So they should be listening in the first place. But, you know, I don't know if there's going to be a week 18.
well, it could be. I mean, the NFL said today that essentially they will play every single day of the week if they have to. And I think if there's a couple of games that need to be made up, you could see that week 18. I think they could push out the playoffs a week and stick it in there. But, you know, we'll see. I think the NFL's done a decent job. I mean, you know, listen, I think the play in some of these games have been bad, but they're going to make you play the games. So
I thought it was going to be much worse. I thought the NFL was going to be exactly what college football is dealing with right now. So for if I had to give the NFL a grade, I would probably give them maybe a B- to a C+.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't argue that. Hey, let me ask you both this. Raphael, you go first. There's a lot of jobs in the NFL head coaches. You know, there's a few open now. There's a bunch going to be open. Maybe there'll be 7 or 8 jobs. You know, the interesting name for me, and it's only because it kind of hits the Giants a little bit right now, does Jason Garrett get another opportunity? You know, so there's so many people out there, you know, I know there'd be enemies of the world and, you know, people talking about Jim Harbaugh coming back. Does a guy like Jason Garrett get another gig as a head coach?
I think maybe the people who maybe lose out on Eric Bieniemy, maybe Robert Saleh, I think people who lose out on them maybe will look at Jason Garrett. Does he want to be a head coach? I mean, it's probably up to him. It's also going to determine how many college coaches jump ship as well. So I would not be shocked if you hear Matt Campbell's name out there. We already said Harbaugh. I still think Dabo Sweeney could be a name that's out there as well. So it all depends how many college coaches jump ship.
Yeah, Jeff, what do you think, Jeff?
Cowboys last year, didn't they make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, they won the division at 8.
They won their division, and this year, without Jason Garrett, they're horrible. They're worse than maybe the worst team in the NFC East. So maybe people are going to look at that also. But what did he bring to the table in Dallas last year that this was a playoff team, and this year, you know, they can't win anything?
Well, again, I do think
reflection on him.
Yeah, I think he gets it. I think he gets another opportunity. I think he had enough success. You know, I think if you ask him, of course, I don't think he wants to go the rest of his career as an offensive coordinator / assistant head coach. I think he wants another job down the line, but most of them do.
But does he want a job of a horrible team? Does he want the Jacksonville job? I mean, he may be a good fit for the Bears. Head coach, he's got some experience with some quarterbacks and defense, so I think that'd be a good spot. But if I'm him, I don't want no offense, the Jets job, the Jaguars job, or something like that. Maybe even the Houston Texans might be a good job for him. He knows the Dallas, the Texas area.
Yeah, listen, you know, I'm always very leery on the assistant coaches and the college coaches, and you know, just because you never know. I mean, everybody's talking about Eric Bieniemy being that guy, but you know, it's easy to be that guy when you got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. So it's easy, you know, when you're coming over to another team, whether it's the Jets or not, you might not have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback next year.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look at Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, exactly right. Right, Jeff? I mean, that, you know, doesn't guarantee success other places.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You know, this year proves a lot. You know, a couple guys ain't playing for whatever reason, whether they opted out or, you know, they just got injured, and some of these teams are completely different than they were last year. So, you know, different coach goes to a different team, and doesn't mean that the success is going to follow him. You know?
Agreed. Matt, you're 100% wrong. We can judge the Cowgirls. They suck because they suck out loud. And because they are overrated pretty much every year. But that's okay. You're a Cowboy fan, and I love you anyway, Matt Salici. Let's switch gears a little bit. I want to get to, again, we hear Jeff and Tom here at Hard Rocket Sports every week. We're joined by our good friend, Raphael Esparza, the head odds maker over at mybookie.ag. Check him out. Go on if you're going to make a bet, guys. And as Raphael says on his Facebook thing, bet your ass. Bet responsibly. Right, Raphael? Is that what you would say?
I always say don't bet what you don't have.
There you go. So, tell me what's bet my ass or bet your ass? What is bet your ass?
That's another show I do with some of Fox Sports Indianapolis. Their radio host out there. I do a show with him on the same channel every Monday before Monday Night Football kicks off.
Oh, awesome! I didn't know. I wish I would have known that. I would tune in if I could find a way.
Yep, every Monday, right before Monday Night Football kicks off.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we're not your only outlet. I get it. We don't feel slighted. It's okay. We still love having you on the show.
I do about 35 to 40 media hits a week, so I'm sorry that you're not the only one.
Okay. Listen, I get that's all. That's what it's all about, getting it out there. So, let's talk about the Tyson fight. And I use fight as a very generous term. I don't know how you felt about it. The first boxing match I watched in 21 years, and I regret paying $49.99. I think it was a disgrace to boxing. I know it's an exhibition. I know how it was billed, but I watched. Now, the first fight, Vasquez-Gonzalez, I thought was a nice fight. There was another good fight along the way. It was funny kind of to watch Nate Robinson get completely smoked. It was interesting because I'm not a big Nate Robinson guy. But the Tyson fight, Rafael, was an absolute disgrace.
See, I totally disagree. That was the best $50 I spent in a very long time. First of all, you're coming into this fight thinking, oh, I saw Tyson when he was the heavyweight champ. I came into this fight thinking I wanted to be entertained. This is two 50-plus-year-olds in the ring, and everyone thought they were going to have headgear and different gloves. People don't know that the last minute they say, you know what, screw the exhibition. We're going to go, I think they used 12-ounce gloves instead of 15, and it had no headgear on. So that just proved me when it came out. They're like, wait a minute, this ain't no exhibition fight. And now we're talking about guys almost 60 years old. What did you expect? You expect something you were going to watch on HBO in 1990? I mean, I thought it was very entertaining. I can guarantee you Roy Jones probably had a little redness in his urine a Sunday morning with the body shots that he took. I was entertained. I thought Snoop Dogg was funny. I got high just watching it. So I thought it was entertaining for me. I didn't care for the musical acts. I paused it. I was watching UFC. I didn't care for any music. I thought the Pascal fight was really good. This is going to work. I can guarantee you Tyson will fight in 2021. I can guarantee you Lennox Lewis will fight Riddick Bowe sometime in 2021.
Listen, I from a standpoint that would, yes, they will get the younger boxing fan, 30s, 40s, and younger. The hip hop thing, it totally turned me off. The whole, people just completely just smoking pot was just beyond what I could understand. But here's my problem with the fight, and I want to get Jeff's take on it. But here's my problem with it. One, it was 30 seconds of fighting, maybe. Roy Jones, at best, stayed outside, threw a few jabs, maybe one round, threw a couple of combinations, and for the minute and 30 seconds, they basically just locked up, threw some punches, and when it was over, here's my bigger problem. Don't even announce a winner or loser, because there's no way in the world, if you watched that fight, you thought there was a draw or that Roy Jones Jr. had any business being in the mix to win the fight. It was not even close. And that's what destroyed it for me. I didn't think it was a great fight. I wasn't expecting a great fight. But don't go out there and put the cards out there and tell me, oh, Vinny Pazienza is going to be a judge and they're keeping rounds, and then tell me it was a draw, because then it's a joke. Now it's just a joke.
I think this was a test run. I think they won't have these celebrity judges. I talked to a WBC official, and he says we weren't expecting it. We were expecting headgear, bigger gloves. Yeah. So this was a test run. That's why I think this could work. Everyone believes it wasn't a draw. I love the 2 minutes. I love the microphones on the ref, where the ref kept on asking Roy Jones every time he got hit in the gut, you want me to stop it? You want me I like that aspect, because, again, these are 50-plus-year-olds on there. And Roy Jones said, I didn't want to get hit. Of course I was going to hug him. Of course I wasn't going to. I didn't want to get hit.
Then why sign up for the fight? You're a boxer.
I heard from multiple sources. I heard he really wanted the headgear. He said it would have been a different kind of fight if he had the headgear, but when they both agreed to no extent, he couldn't back out after that. What are we going to do?
Did you see the tits on that man?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so listen. Now I get my turn. Roy Jones should not have been in the ring.
No.
Okay. He looked soft. He looked flabby.
I agree.
Nothing at all like it. He looked like a broken down old man.
Yep.
Tyson although he looked tighter, looked old, he was fast. I don't think Tyson stands a chance to fight again in 2021 and be a serious contender. He may have another exhibition fight or against somebody else from his own time again, coming back out to fight him. But I seriously hope that somebody talks to him and tells him that you shouldn't do this. Because I think that guy, he's going to get destroyed if he goes up against somebody half his age.
You know what? I didn't think Tyson did a bad representation of himself. I thought Tyson actually looked like a fighter.
Tyson, if he fought 2-minute rounds, put him in for 3-minute rounds with a guy half his age.
Oh, I agree with that.
He gets crushed.
No, I got you. No, I agree with you.
Roy Jones is even worse.
Yes, I agree.
Roy Jones warmed up as the fight went on. Okay, Tyson, he had a lot of nice moves, a lot of nice cuts. He had a lot of good footwork, but he's going to wear himself out quickly.
He won't fight a professional. He even said that Gray afterwards in a press conference. He's like, I'm not fighting a professional boxer. I want to just do 2-minute rounds, exhibition for charity. He gave away, I think, estimated anywhere between $16 to $17 million to charity for this event. He's like, I'm an exhibition fighter. I want to raise much money. I'm going to smoke pot probably in a dressing room when I log on and go in the ring. Yeah. He doesn't want to fight a professional fighter. He gets killed by a professional fighter.
He really puffed before he got into
the ring. He said he did. Yeah.
Now, Tommy, I know that you never experienced the joys of weed. Raphael, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Take it from me. All right. When I was I know.
You are expert.
Yeah. I don't want to say that in case mom is watching. But he should have been doing nothing more than watching some funny movies and eating some fucking potato chips, not getting in the ring with anybody.
Here's the thing. I disagree a little bit. I don't think Tyson, especially the first few rounds, I thought Tyson moved well. I thought his hand speed was good.
He did, and he had all of that, Tom, but he can't keep it up long term.
No, but again, if they did the same scenario again and he fought
5 rounds, he should fight no more than 5 rounds.
Yeah, but 5, 6, 7, whatever. I don't disagree with that. And again, I don't think I would watch it again. I think what I saw between some of the undercard fights were bad. I did not enjoy the music. I thought the music was horrendous, but I'm not a fan of that music. I thought the blatant, Wiz Khalifa just flat out was smoking pot while he was singing. I just said Snoop Dogg, same thing. I get it. I know it was Weed Maps that was sponsoring for a good part of this whole thing, so I get it. But for me, it most of it turned me off. But the fight itself wasn't great. Now I'll tell you one thing. I bet the fight. I bet Tyson to win by knockout or TKO. First bet I've made in a long time. And I wanted to bet draw. And my wife said, no, Tyson's going to win. And I didn't bet the draw. And I lost, obviously. So Tyson didn't knock him out. But the whole draw thing at the end really bothered me to the point where I am turned off to this whole thing.
It bothered me, but like I said, I was entertained with what it blew my expectations. I thought I was more disapproved when Mayweather fought McGregor, and I was there live.
Right.
So I thought this. I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I paid $50 for this, and then getting paid I think $75 for drinks and a pretzel when I went to the McGregor Mayweather fight. I was more pissed about that.
And I'll also tell you that, and here's the other part I didn't like. What was Mario Lopez doing there? That's ridiculous. And I even thought, what happened to Sugar Ray Leonard? He used to be one of the most energetic, nice guy. It sounded like he was on antidepressants. Not even antidepressants. He was on depressants the whole time.
I'm actually shocked because I heard I've heard from a buddy of mine that he's got some dementias or stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Early stages or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not, but watching him speak and all that and kind of being delayed, I don't know, maybe he was high sitting next to Snoop Dogg. I don't know.
I don't know, Jeff. Did you see enough of that?
No, I didn't. I watched an edited version of the fight earlier before the show. But I did mention to Tommy, how many tens of thousands of times did he get fucking punched in the head? That what could be left of this guy's brain? Just enough body function at this point in time.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now Snoop Dogg announced he's going to start this whole league, the Legends League. I don't think he's calling it or whatever. So this is going to happen. They're going to bring back a bunch of these older fighters. Buddy of mine's listening.
This is going to happen until one of them fucking dies in the ring.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I agree.
But they're talking about bringing back, they're talking about Holyfield Tyson now.
I'm glad everybody's fucking agreeing. Like we're waiting for this to happen. There's a bet for you. Give us a list. Who's the first one to die in the ring, bro?
I'll start that list after I do Jacksonville Jaguars head coach next.
Oh, God, here we are, Hard Rock and Sports. Yes, don't forget, December 17th, the big Christmas show. That's right, the big Christmas spectacular. My Giants will be cruising into the playoffs by that point, which I want to get to a little bit right now with Raphael. Talk a little bit.
That's a very stressed word, cruising into the playoffs.
Well, listen, here's the thing. First of all, I am not upset that let me say. I could care less. If the Giants make the playoffs, they make the playoffs. And I could care less. I am not gonna apologize or give it back. That's just the way it goes. Some years, you gotta win 9 games, some years you gotta win 11, and sometimes you gotta win 6. And this year maybe 6. I'm taking it, Jeff.
Tom, I'm so disgusted over the NFC East and the Giants being anywhere near the top of that list. It's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
I would rather see Matt's Cowboys in there.
Let me tell you something. The Giants right now have the best defense and probably the best quarterback in the division.
The fuck out of here.
I'll give you quarterback, but I'm going to take Washington's defense.
Why? What has Washington's defense done in the last 6 weeks that would put them yes, they may have the best defensive line in the division, maybe in football. I won't even argue that. Other than that, the Giants defense has played as a unit, has played much better than anybody in that division.
I mean, the Giants will make, but let's face it, I think you guys can agree with me. Why are we talking about playoff teams and wild card when everyone's playing for second best? Kansas City will win the Super Bowl as long as they don't get hurt or COVID issues. I don't see anybody beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, we were talking about that to start the show, and I asked Jeff this question. Pittsburgh could legitimately, and I don't think they're a great team, could legitimately go 16-0, have a home game in the playoffs against the 15-1 Chiefs, and I think they'd be underdog in their own stadium.
Yes, the pre out for the season on defense is a huge loss for them. So I agree with you. We would probably make Kansas City a small favorite, probably like 1 or 2 at Pitt. I mean, because let's face it, there's no home field advantage.
No,
there's no fans in the stands. I mean, look at San Francisco Buffalo this week. Buffalo's a small favorite. If that game was in San Francisco, maybe the 49ers might be 2 or 3 point favorites. So home field does not matter at all. I mean, you look at these teams. The Packers can lose a playoff home game. The Saints could lose a playoff home game because there's no fans. And you think there's going to be fans if the cases are rising upwards during the playoff season?
Yeah, no, right, Jeff. I mean, at some point, do they pull the plug on and give a 2-week break to see what happens, Jeff?
Who knows what's going to happen, Tom? All I know is I watched TV earlier tonight, and they make it seem like a doomsday scenario, and this is the worst day since the pandemic started, since back in the spring.
Yeah,
it's going to get worse in the next 3 months. So God only knows what we're going to have next week. Never mind next month, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. It's week to week. I agree.
I tell you the truth. I think if you had the new president in office in the next few weeks, I think you would get a 2-week lockdown. I think they would come out and lock this country down for 2 weeks. I think they're not doing it now, one, because of the holidays, but I think this president would just refuse to do it. But I think the new president would do it.
Here's a question for you. I heard this last night on the radio, right? If you go from one place to another, you got to quarantine for 14 days, right?
Some places too, yeah.
If you come into contact with somebody with COVID, you have to quarantine for 14 days. Now they're saying you only have to quarantine for 7 days.
7 to 10. Yeah.
Well, they're saying 7, and then you have to do a test at 7th day, and if you're clear, then you're good. If you're not clear, then.
But a couple months ago, the symptoms could take up to 14 days to come out. So now, if they give you a test after 7 days, okay, it's cool. Back in the pool you go.
Yeah.
So they got to make their minds up too. So you're telling me that it's worse in one breath, But now you're telling me that if I get it or if I bump into one of you two guys and you may have it, I just got to spend 7 days in the house as opposed to 14.
I blame Tommy that would give it to you first, not me.
Yeah.
Tommy gave me other things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that.
I gave him syphilis one year for Christmas.
Yeah.
No. Hey, let's finish up the NFL. I want to get to a little bit of college football before we move on. The NFL right now, I mean, with all the ways they move around the games, Tuesday night football games, Wednesday afternoons, good or bad for your business? It's got to be good because it's standalone games means more bets.
It's good, but it's also stressful because, I mean, let's take the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. We had to refund it 3 times before they actually played the game. So because they had every time they move a game a different day, we have to refund it and change the bet number. And we had to do it that way because at first they were just missing the running backs. Okay, we make a number. Now Lamar Jackson's out. So we refund the first game because now Lamar Jackson's out because now it was 3 to now 10. Wow. And now they move it from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's good for us because there was a game. I mean, there was nothing else to bet on. So people were parlaying college basketball and NFL yesterday because we had college basketball going at the same time. Plus we had Champions League soccer going on at the same time. So it was good for us yesterday because people were able to parlay 3 sports, Champions League soccer, college basketball, and NFL. They were all on TV at the same time. So that helped us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, now coming down the stretch, you got the Saturday games coming. There's a Christmas Day game. There's football seems like every day, and now with the COVID, there could be games every day of the week. So it's going to be interesting to see how this winds up. I still believe with all that's going on in the holidays, I got a feeling there's going to be some of these games that are just going to spill into an 18th week and somehow push the playoffs around. I
love it because every night when I get home, my wife goes downstairs, watch TV. Me and the dog come upstairs and we just find some kind of football game to watch, whether it's college or pro football. Every single night there's something on.
Why can't you go downstairs and watch HGTV with the wife?
There you go.
She doesn't watch. She watches Lifetime and what that other one? Fucking
excuse me, what about the HGT? I'm sorry, Christmas movies on Lifetime.
Yeah, stuff like that. NSU Special Victims Unit, whatever, Law and Order.
Yeah.
Forget it. I know 1,000 different ways to get away with murder right now.
Let's talk a little bit about college football before we call it a wrap. Interesting. Alabama's been Alabama. Clemson, who knows? I mean, they've missed so much, games. Notre Dame at number 2 most places. But Ohio State, where does Ohio State fall in all of this? Only 4 wins. They may only get another game or so before this thing wraps up, before they have to make a decision. Does Ohio State deserve to get in there short of getting full season or 7 games, let's call it?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're probably going to play only 5 games because I don't think Michigan's going to play them because Michigan and Jim Harbaugh is going to say, we can't play because of COVID. He just doesn't want to get butt spanked on national TV again. So, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, maybe they need to take a page of what BYU and Coastal Carolina did. BYU was really inclusive on the Coastal Carolina game, Liberty game. I heard BYU was calling Coastal Carolina as of Wednesday saying, hey, if Liberty can't go, let's do this. We'll give you 30% more money if we'll come to your place because game day is going to be here. So BYU was on it. They're looking for a game. I think Ohio State might have to do the same thing to try to find a 6th game. If not, I think Florida can jump over because I think they easily beat up Tennessee this week.
Yep.
Texas A&M has to play Auburn, so that's going to be a closer matchup. I think Cincinnati might be looking outside, and so would BYU. So if you're Florida, get some style points this week. And if I'm Ohio State, you need some style points. You might be trying to put up 100 mark because maybe if you get 100, they'll give you 2 wins instead of 1 win.
Yeah, I think if there was a year to expand the playoffs, it was this year because I think there's a bunch of teams. Once you get past the top 2, top 3, let's call obviously Clemson. There's a bunch of teams that are all pretty close. Indiana was in the mix for a while. Texas A&M, Cincinnati, Florida, BYU. I would love to have seen them get 6 teams in this year.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I think they didn't want to put more teams in just because, let's just get the season over with and call it a day.
No, I agree. I think this will be one of those seasons. If you're college football, you're probably any one of the top three will be fine. I tell you the truth myself, I'd love to see an Alabama Notre Dame matchup, kind of two old school programs. I would love to see those two guys battle it out. I don't know if those are the two best teams, but those are two teams I'd like to see get there at this point. Where would money be for you?
I mean, right now, we just need Alabama to lose. I mean, which is not going to probably happen, especially if Ohio State's not going to be in it. Yeah. They're going to be double-digit favorites on all three of the teams that's in there right now, except maybe Ohio State. They'll be probably 14-point favorites against Notre Dame. I think Clemson might give them a little bit of challenge, but they're not healthy as of right now either. But as long as Alabama doesn't win, we'll probably sit pretty.
Nice. Okay. And real quick on basketball, I mean, NBA, unbelievably, seems like yesterday the Lakers were celebrating. NBA's about to kick off again, and hockey looks like it's going to get pushed back maybe from their January 1st date. Give me a little something on the early returns of the NBA.
Yeah, a little bit shocked. I mean, that just tells me how much money the NBA lost with no fans, shortened season and all that, that they brought back. The players took less money. The owners took less money. And that just proves to me probably how much money they lost from the China incident that they had with the Houston Rockets owners. So I'm actually shocked that they probably were in secret meetings saying, hey, you know what? We lost a lot of money. We need to play the season. And I'm a little bit shocked that everyone was cohesive and said, let's go. I mean, we don't need a rest. Don't fine us if LeBron James can't go 3 straight games a week if they want to rest up. I don't think we're going to see fines like that because I just think the NBA knew the negativity it was of losing money with no fans and the China incident, that they need to have the TV money and have something to watch. Because let's face it, once football is over, there was going to be nothing. And NBA said, you know what, we're going to put as many games on TNT, ABC, ESPN, because the hockey's probably not going to go till the end of January. College basketball's canceling games left and right. So I thought it was a smart business plan. Missing hockey. I wish hockey would hurry up and decide what they're going to do because I love watching hockey and getting stuff like that. But it should be interesting. We have a lot of prop bets in the NBA. I'll be working a lot more. I'm going to put up team total wins coming up in the next couple of weeks and some prop bets.
Yeah, interesting. I think the NBA, I think on both sides, they wanted to get back in. I think the players lost a lot of money last year as well as the, not getting a full season, and obviously the teams lost a tremendous amount of money. So I think they were all eager because if the players didn't lose money, there's no way they'd be running back to play basketball right now.
I think that Major League Baseball needs to take a page of what the NBA did.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Is the NBA they're not going through a bubble again this year? Are they?
No.
No. So they're going to try to do a regular schedule.
They're going to try it, but I heard through sources that if they need to halt it for, let's say, a month or whatever, that they're going to go back to a bubble plan. But I think they're going to do 3 cities, not just one. So you don't do less traveling.
All right. Well, hey, before you go real quick, give me. I didn't check your site before the show. I didn't have a check. I got home a little late tonight. Who do you have as the favorite to win the NFCs? I want Jeff to hear it out loud.
The New York Giants.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about right here, baby. New York Giants guaranteed to win. My favorite odds maker said it.
First of all, what do they got? 4 wins, 3 wins?
4 wins. 4 wins.
Take away the wins that Ron Rivera tried to win the game outright instead of trying to win it in overtime. Take that away from me.
There we go.
Okay, that's 3.
But the New York Giants are plus 180 and the Washington Redskins are 2-1. So it's not like they're the heavy favorites to win a division.
You heard that, Tom. You heard that, didn't you?
Who are the favorites? Don't give me odds. Who are the favorites right now to win the NFC East?
Manchester United.
You're probably right.
Playoff team, man. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, fake or not, we're in first place. We're going to wind up losing this week, I think, but it's okay. Rest Daniel Jones, and then we go out. I had this as a loss from the beginning of the season, so I'm not disappointed at all. Rest Daniel Jones, come back and win 4 straight to end the season. Playoff time, and we're going to scare a few people.
I hope they turn around and say his hamstring came off the fucking bone or something.
That's what I have to deal with every week.
Just flap it around that he won't play again this year.
Raphael,
next year's in doubt too. I hope he catches COVID.
I hope your Thanksgiving was good. Did you get to enjoy it with family, or you kind of stayed solo?
I said we stayed really close. Didn't want to do that much stuff just because it's a busy time for me, and so I didn't want to be doing work in the hospital bed.
And now the holidays are coming, guys. Don't forget the big Christmas show, December 17th. And Raphael, as always, will be back probably in a couple weeks to do another round of this and help me celebrate the Giants clinching the NFC East soon. So it'd be big news here at the Hard Rock.
Happen until week 19. You got to be on fucking crack.
Raphael, thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it. We look forward to you coming back again. And everybody check out Raphael. He's 35, 40 hits a week. He's somewhere in your neighborhood. Check him out. He's the best.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care. Raphael Esparza, mybookie.ag. Check him out, guys. Let's stay on the Giants because I want to officially bask in the glory of my soon-to-be Super Bowl winning team. Not this year. Here's what I have to tell you, Jeff, and you're going to have to deal with it. We have the best defense and absolutely the best quarterback in the division. If I were the Giants, Jeff. Now I hear that Daniel Jones. That's really what you're gonna do? Really? Seriously, that's what you're gonna do? So if I were the Giants, if Daniel Jones isn't 110%, I wouldn't play him this week. Because here's the thing. I don't think the Giants had a chance to win this game either way. Going out to Seattle's never been that thing. I still think the Seahawks are a better team than the Giants. I would give Daniel Jones the week off. Let him stay healthy. Get healthy for the run. Because
he's been off, like 3 weeks in a row now, right?
He's not been off 3 weeks in a row, you dick.
Oh, he's actually been playing?
Anyway, so they got the Cardinals after that who have not played well. They got the Ravens who stink. You got the Browns and the Cowboys. So there's 4 winnable games after this. Jeff, if I'm the Giants,
4 winnable
games. I would not play Daniel Jones regardless.
Okay.
So now, let me get to some more points on the Giants because I can. I think Jason Garrett's done a nice job. I don't think this offense is better than last year though, but that's okay because I think it's getting better. And I think this defense is top 5 in the league. And that's why these Giants are winning. And that's why if they get to the playoffs, they'll scare a few teams. They might not win, but they'll scare a few teams.
Top 5.
Top 5. Absolutely. Defensively, I think this is a top 5 defense.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5 defense. 5. Wow.
Do you want to rebut any of this? Do you want to move on to another topic?
Listen, this is all I'm going to say. You want me to say what I got to say?
Say it. I wish you would. I like when you spew your venom.
All right. 1.
Okay.
Gettleman has got to go.
Oh, stop with the Gettleman's got to go. He's built a team.
He's built a powerhouse.
Yes.
They're 4-7 in a division with everybody else is 3-9 and 8 or whatever the fuck they are. They're 1 game behind one another. This is a whole division that should just be fucking cut loose. Let them go play in Canada or League football, whatever. Let them go join the XFL. Get rid of them. They stuck. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all, Daniel Jones.
Yep.
Okay, he's got a bad hamstring.
Yep.
Bring him back just that much too soon and see what happens.
That's my point.
In this guy's career. So that being said, it's best to shut him down.
I agree.
For pretty much the remainder of the year.
Oh, listen to this shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Think of the future. Because what's going to happen is the Giants might win get into the playoffs. They might win enough games in that division, which looks like 5 at this point in time, to win the division, to get into the playoffs.
6. You got to win 6 games to win this division.
They may get into the playoffs. Okay, they're going to end up getting like the 27th pick, 25th pick, something like that. Get nobody that's going to help them short term.
Okay,
they're going to be a horrible team. Dave Gettleman's going to continue to ruin that team, and poor Giant fans like yourself are going to be left to suffer.
I'm not suffering. I'm watching a very competitive, very well coached, very aggressive team. I'm looking forward to every Sunday. I don't care about draft picks. I care about wins. W's in the win column.
You don't have no fucking W's in the win column.
I got 4.
Take 2 of them off of fucking the win column for Washington, and you know it.
4.
Hey, look.
4.
2. Then take 1 away from Philadelphia. You got 1.
4 wins. Anyway, we'll move on, guys. Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom. We got 45 minutes or so. Jeff, let's talk a little Christmas because we're into the Christmas season. You're a big Christmas guy. You love Christmas. I know you do. I got a lot of NFL stuff, but I want to get a little Christmas in, a little music in right now, right here in our music. Remember, guys, December 17th, we're going to have a lot of music. We're going to have some live bands, maybe somebody from Sweden. We got a whole bunch of people calling in, and we're going to have some fun, celebrate Hard Rocket Sports style. I don't know we'll do much in the way of real content, as they call it, Jeff. I think it will be a lot of Christmassy stuff.
It's not going to be your every year variety Christmas show. No Michael Bauble type stuff and Harry Como and Bing Crosby type of shit, man. This is going to be real.
That's absolutely right. So make sure you stay right. Jeff, what makes a Christmas movie?
Wow. Well, you know what? I've been thinking about that since you asked me earlier.
Go ahead.
And I would have to say there's a couple things that you're going to have to be on the lookout for.
Okay, go ahead.
One, obviously, it would be nice if there was a Christmas setting somewhere within the movie.
Now, you say Christmas setting, you mean like a dinner with the tree and the whole bit?
Well,
talking nativity scene?
Some kind of reference to Christmas itself.
Okay.
Whether it's the tree, a Santa Claus, someplace.
So it has to be set in the Christmas holiday season, music playing, decorated houses.
It would help to set the mood.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay? But it could also be a funny, somewhat of a funny story, a bit of a comedy. You know what I mean? Like where there's a little bit of a feel-good story to it.
Okay.
You know, where everybody at the end is happy and laughing and, you know, maybe something of that nature. But I don't think, like, you can't have a sad movie. You can't, like, that can't be sad. Christmas isn't a sad time of the year. I mean, there's people now that are saying hello to me that normally would not say hello at other times a year, but they say it, hey, how you doing? And everything, because Christmas is coming, they feel good and everything.
Okay.
The decorations, the lights, the trees, makes everybody happy, no matter what.
I agree. Now, having said that, if you turn on an action movie, and I'm going to use 2 specific ones. Lethal Weapon, the first one.
Well, Lethal Weapon did have some Christmas accents to it, if I remember correctly.
Right, but they did not really celebrate Christmas in there. Now,
no, but at the end of the movie, there was a Christmas tree in one of the scenes.
Absolutely, 100%. So, but it was in the time of Christmas. There was Christmas music being played, and the same thing with Die Hard. Would you call those 2 movies Christmas movies or Christmas time movies?
Maybe Christmas time movies. I don't remember necessarily when Lethal Weapon came out. I don't remember it being out at Christmas time, but I think Die Hard came out at Christmas time.
I almost guarantee you that was the case. Yes, I'm not sure about the Lethal Weapon one, but for sure Die Hard was out at Christmas
time. Die Hard, if I remember right, he was going to visit somebody or going to meet somebody for Christmas.
Well, he was flying from New York to California because his ex-wife, was living in California, and he was going to attend her company Christmas party.
Okay.
When the Nakatomi building got taken over.
Okay. So it was a bit of a Christmas theme, so to speak.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas in the sense of like Christmas Vacation was a Christmas movie. It was about a Christmas bonus. It was set around it. It doesn't have to be Miracle on 34th Street where Santa Claus is up on charges. It could just have what's the right word, Jeff? An outline of Christmas in it to be a Christmas themed movie.
A dash of Christmas. How's that?
I like that. Dash.
Hey, speaking of, if you look behind me, you can see a dash of Christmas. See, my windows are red.
I see your red lights.
You got red lights in the windows.
Could be Christmas. It could be a brothel. One or the other. We're not really sure.
I keep getting these skeevy guys knocking on my door. How much for a blowjob, man? Like,
now, the question is,
not here.
Have you answered and have you accommodated? That's the question.
Not accommodated. No, I did sock some guy in the face with a coffee can.
Okay, you probably deserved it.
Pockets found $3.
Okay, well, I would agree with you. I tend to, while I think of those movies as Christmas movies because they play well all year, but they are set in the time of Christmas. And I always get the kick out of them being played as a Christmas movie. And I believe that they are. There are a few movies that way. So I'm going with your theory, yes.
what is the ultimate Christmas movie? or
Wow,
Christmas
that's a
show?
really great question. Wow. Not animated, right? Just a regular Christmas, just a regular.
Could be anything. Could be whatever you deem it what it needs to be.
Wow. Okay, I will tell you the ultimate Christmas movie, in my opinion, is Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay, for me, I feel as though that the holiday season kicks off around Halloween because you got Halloween and then.
Oh, that's early, but okay.
Well, yeah, but I'm not talking the start.
Gotcha.
Start of the wave, the crest of the wave, if you will.
Gotcha. Understand. It's building.
With Charlie Brown, okay? And then you have Thanksgiving with Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Then you have Christmas time with Charlie Brown. So to me, the Peanuts play a big part.
I agree, but they're not a movie.
But it doesn't have to be a movie. I said whatever.
Okay.
I didn't say it necessarily a movie.
No, I would agree with you. I will not put the Charlie Brown Halloween in there, but I certainly believe that the Charlie Brown Christmas special, Thanksgiving special, is kind of the start of the holiday season, in my opinion.
Well, listen, they don't put any Charlie Brown on for any of the other holidays.
Nope, and not during the regular season.
Arbor Day, Easter.
Nope.
Valentine's Day, I believe. There was a whole bunch of different Charlie Browns at one point.
Well, I was just going to ask you that question. Are there non-holiday episodes of the Charlie Brown? I know that the comic book is plenty, but I remember there being one later, maybe 80s Charlie Brown, something about they were whitewater rafting.
Yeah, I something like that. I remember that.
But
yeah.
were there other Charlie Brown cartoon episodes?
I know there was one for Easter.
There was. I never saw that. Okay.
Okay, I will send you a I don't know if I should say it on the It was actually pretty funny. It was it's the Easter nigga Charlie Brown. You gotta watch that one on YouTube, man. That is a classic, man. Make sure you're watching that in the privacy of your own home. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna piss yourself.
Oh my god! I think we just got thrown off the air.
Don't worry about it. It's all right. I said I used the A, so it's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, when does your holiday vacation start?
I do not know what's happening with my vacation as of right now.
Usually you're off at this time of the year. You're coming up on your vacation.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Christmas week off. I don't know if I'm going to take my second week off.
Really?
For a couple different reasons. Yeah, I'm right at the cusp of when I build up some time.
Uh-huh.
And I have almost 400 hours of vacation time right now as it is.
Wow.
Once I get to 432, that brings me over the cap. So if I don't take any time and I go over the cap, then they will force me to take off, which I've been trying to do for like the last God knows how many years. So my plan is to now announce to the world at work that I am over the cap and that I should start working 4-day work weeks. Fuck you. I'm out.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
Okay? That's one thing. But right now it looks like I'll just be taking Christmas week off.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
My boss may be going for a procedure. So if he goes for the procedure, I'll be making money. I'll be taking home money in a fucking wheelbarrow like I did last paycheck. So, and when I went to the bank, it was a pretty good feeling when I was like, see that number on the right? That's coming to me.
It's a good Christmas feeling you had right there.
Hell yeah. I was like, that's not what I made. No, that's what I'm taking home this time. You know, so it's good number. Good number. This week's check coming up may be such a number I may actually post it online.
Nice. You're not proud.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's always.
I'm sure something will happen. The back of the house will fall off, or a tree will fall on a car, and it's not covered by insurance.
That is always the case, my friend. It could be possible. Yeah. That could be possible. We don't know, but guys, hanging in there. Hard Rocket Sports. Hey, we got some more stuff we'll do next week. Before we get off Christmas, I got to ask it. You want to answer it now? Or you want to wait till the end of the show at 9:30?
Go ahead.
What is the worst Christmas song ever?
Oh man, there's a couple that I can't stand. The one by John Lennon. So This Is Christmas, I think.
Okay, I actually kind of like that. I get a little tired of it, but go ahead.
Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney.
Okay, another one that I don't turn off all the time.
I like when it comes to Christmas music. I like to stay to the classics.
You like the classics, okay?
Yes. When I mean classics, I don't mean something that was released in the '60s. Like,
No, I get it. You want the 1840 versions.
Sinatra. Yes, exactly. Where the people seem to have. When was the last time that a real good Christmas song was written?
Written, yeah, I would tell you. To me, I'm, as funny as it sounds, I love Bing Crosby singing Christmas tunes. I'm a big fan.
Because it feels, you know what? You listen to those guys sing, it feels warm. It feels genuine.
And to be honest with you, the production, while maybe not the greatest, is toned to a Chris. Some of that stuff, like the McCartney one, which I like, and some of the other ones.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just different. So I kind of like going back to that. But guys, Hard Rocket Sports 347-826-9934. Remember, Len Torselli joins Jeff and I on the big Christmas spectacular. Maybe the boys from Pressure, Simon and everybody over from the band Pressure from Sweden, we might be checking in middle of the night for them. And I got a couple of the irons in the fire. Maybe again next week. I believe next week we're gonna have what's his name? Hold on a second. I got to get my list. Where is it? Mick Michaels from the band Corners of Sanctuary. Their album Wonderful Time of Year, cornersofsanctuary.com. Out on the RFL. It's out on RFL, but they are part of the RFL family. So I think Mick Michaels will be joining us next week, although there's been some talk of him coming on the Christmas show and doing some stuff for us there. So stay tuned for more info on Mick Michaels. But again, Len Torselli, good old-fashioned Rosebank boy, and now my Rosebank cousin, as we called each other last night, will be joining me and Jeff right here for a little reunion on the show. So make sure you're ready for December 17th, 7 to 10. Jeff's going to do take some uppers or something to make sure he's wide awake. I'll be wide awake. And it's funny, I have a very big concrete pour the next morning. I think I have to be at work at like 3 a.m.
For
the
what?
next day. Yeah.
For what?
Well, because we're pouring 1,500 yards of concrete. It's a lot of concrete. So
why do you got to be there? What does 3 o'clock in the morning have to do?
We have to get started early because we have to be done at a certain point in the day. Permits, so we're reaching out and anyway, it's one of our biggest pours ever, second biggest. And this year, around this time of year, we did 2,000 yards, and that was a 16-hour night. Yeah, well, actually, it was more. I got to work at 10 o'clock in the morning, got home at 7:30 the next day.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I got one of those, but the Christmas show must go on, and Jeff and I will be here. He'll be wearing his new Santa hat, courtesy of the JETS Jets. Almost in this manner, it would look like a dunce cap.
No, listen, whatever you want it to look like is fine with me.
I'm saying
I'm getting the number one pick. What do I care?
We're going. I could just see the Jets winning like the last week of the season and completely getting pushed out of the number one pick and having the number two pick. I would dance naked on this table if the Jets get the number two pick of the day. Oh, by the way, I'm making an announcement. I have decided that I'm going to play and sing a Christmas song on our Christmas special.
Okay.
Yep, I've decided.
All right, that's a good thing, man. That's actually a good thing. Will you be playing it on your new Van Halen guitar?
I don't know that. It could be on acoustic. I got the acoustic in the closet. It could be on the new Van Halen guitar if it ever shows up. I'm not really sure. Jeff will be doing a reading. On the acoustic. Jeff will be doing a reading of that night. He'll be closing the show with the Jeff reading of the Christmas classics. So we're looking forward to Jeff's version, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But make sure you check out. But I like to give you my worst ever. The one Christmas song that no matter who sings it, no matter how it's done, no matter whatever happens, I can never listen to the song.
Okay, which one is it?
Do you mind if I give it to you?
Oh, no, of course not. I want to hear which one it is.
The 12 Days of Christmas.
The 12 Days of Christmas?
Yes.
Why the 12 days?
It is the most repetitive, annoying, horrendously written, themed
90 seconds.
song in the history of Christmas music.
When you listen to that song, what comes to mind?
I want to tear out my eardrums and slit my throat and die a painful death rather than listen to that song.
that song makes me think that like it was written like in 1865 in England someplace.
Okay.
You know, like that when the reason that it's as long as it is because people used it to kill time. You know what I'm saying?
60
So
seconds.
like if you were at a party and you started singing that, it's because the kids all of a sudden were like getting rambunctious and all of a sudden one of the adults was like, you know, was all the way in the corner doing something else. Here's the kids go wild, you know, on the first day of Christmas, my true love.
Oh, it was written in England in 1780.
Well, so I wasn't too far off.
You're not too far off. Let's see. The two.
Why was it written to squelch the little cocksuckers?
I'm just here's what it says. The 12 Days of Christmas is an English Christmas carol that enumerates in the manner of a cumulative song a series of increasingly grand gifts given on each of the 12 days of Christmas.
10 seconds.
The song, published in 1780 without music as a chant or rhyme, is thought to be French in origin. Let's see. The standard tune now associated with it is derived from a 1909 arrangement of traditional folk melody by English composer Frederick Austin, who is familiar. Prolongation of the verse 5 golden rings is where it came from. The worst song in the history of songs, and definitely the worst Christmas song of all time. Easily.
I can't really disagree with you. It's not one that I want to hear.
No.
Let me ask you a couple Christmas related questions.
Please.
When you were little, I could imagine I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Were you forced or wanted to watch the Yule log?
Oof. Oh boy. I don't think it was ever really on in my house. But now remind me again, the Yule log came on like midnight or after the mass, right? And just played all night on Channel 11?
The Yule log came on before.
Really?
Yeah, the Yule log. When I was a kid, my mother and father would not light the tree until Christmas Eve. So we would have the Christmas tree up a couple days, maybe a week or so before Christmas Eve. And it was like they tortured us.
Oh.
We wouldn't light the tree until Christmas Eve. Then all of a sudden, when me and my brother moved out and we got married, they lit the tree up like fucking Halloween. It went up the day before Halloween. The tree was up and lit for like the next 7 months. Yeah, I remember that, Mom. Okay. But I remember them watching that, putting the tree on, and then we would go inside and eat. My grandmother and grandfather would come upstairs and be like 15 of us in a tiny little kitchen up on Ormond Place.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'd be all claustrophobic between my grandfather and the radiator. So it would be about 95 degrees in December, and I'm dying. And then when we're getting ready to go in the living room, maybe we got a little present to keep us busy and occupied so that we would stay out of everybody's hair. And my father, well, now it's the Yule log. And we're like, wait, what do you mean the Yule log? What about, like WKRP in Cincinnati is on or something? Oh, no, we're watching the Yule log. And they put the Yule log on, and that was on for like 3 hours or 4 hours of the best Christmas music ever.
Oof.
Now I look for it and can't find it. And I'm like, oh, man.
I know they brought it back for a while. They did bring it back for a while.
I think it ever went off.
No, it did. I think it went. Definitely went off. But then somebody brought it back, and I haven't heard anything about it recently. And I don't remember as a kid having Christmas Eve. We always had at my grandmother's house when we were young, and it was the Christmas traditions was a ton of food, cigarette smoke that could choke 6 horses to death, and the grown-ups playing cards, playing poker till 2 minutes to midnight. There wasn't a lot of TV stuff. There wasn't a lot of quiet stuff. What are you doing?
I got it.
Got what?
Okay, the Yule log.
Go ahead.
The original network was WPIX Channel 11.
Okay.
Original run December 24th, 1966 to December 25th, 1989.
Wow.
Current run December 25th, 2001 to present. So it certainly looks as though the Yule log will be on again on Channel 11 or some WPIX related station. And
wow.
Yeah, and let me see if there's videos. It was 3 hours and 1 second.
Really?
Well,
so 1 second after midnight type of thing?
No, it was on before midnight.
No, I'm saying that's where it would end 1 second after midnight.
Something like that. Like, I don't know if you can see.
I can.
Okay, that is the
Now-
U-Log now. I don't know how bad that looks.
Remind me of the U-Log. Was it Christmas standards in basically instrumentals?
Yeah, this is not the original U-Log because if you could see, there's a cat at the bottom of the screen.
Yes.
Okay, he's wagging his tail and the
Yeah.
fire and everything. So no, this was just, and I haven't heard any music yet. So I want to hold on to that one and see.
Okay.
On.
I will look for it.
Christmas music. You know what was out before 1966.
Yeah.
So a lot of maybe. I want to go out on a limb and say maybe like Burl Ives and
Oh, love Burl Ives. Love Burl
Like
Ives.
that.
Christmas stuff. Yeah.
What is Burl Ives' connection to Christmas?
He was the snowman in the Rudolph, the
Yes.
narrator, and the snowman in the Rudolph
Yes.
cartoon.
Yes, and let's see. I'll know if you're lying to me. So when I ask this, there was a couple times where Burl Ives had to accent a few things during Rudolph. Okay, like whatever the case was, what he had. I'll have to watch it to give you the examples. But
You mean when he sang?
no, not when he sang. But like, do you remember like getting psyched when Burl Ives said something and to get to the net?
Oh
and
yeah.
Rudolph when they head-butted, put them down, and he hit him in the ass with the antlers.
No, the one thing I loved about Burl Ives, first I love the song "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas," one of my favorites. But they came back right after they showed the Abominable Snowman the first time, and he shaked. He was still one of my favorite moments ever in the animation cartoon world. Burl Ives, that was one of my favorites till to this day. I missed it the other night. I think it was on Tuesday night and I missed it, but I think I DVR'd
I got it DVR. You did DVR it?
I believe I DVR'd it. So I have a whole bunch so far.
The only thing I did not DVR, I took a chance, and not that I care because I don't like it anyway, is Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, I'm not a big Frosty guy. Here's the thing.
Was.
I'm not a huge Frosty guy. I got to be honest with you. And there's multiple Frosties, by the way. There's Frosty and Rudolph Shiny New Year. Frosty Comes to Town Again. There's a bunch of Frosties.
Frosty.
The first one's okay. I'm not a big fan.
No, I can't get into the Frosty too much. It's not for me. No, thank you.
Now, the one thing about Frosty, I'll tell you, I did like the rabbit.
The rabbit?
I like the rabbit, and Frosty takes the hat. The rabbit's pretty cool.
I didn't think Jimmy Durante was a good Christmas guy.
Well, you know what? I would tell you, boy, it's a tough one. I kind of liked it. I thought that he did a good job. The singing, it's kind of one of those things you grow up on, you hear it every year, and when I hear it now, it kind of brings back some great memories. And yes, we were talking about that's the other thing. You know what? Will Cloak brings up a good point. I missed the Christmas specials.
Yeah.
I missed the Dean Martin Christmas special and the Mandrell sisters Christmas special, the Osmonds. I missed those variety shows. I know Dolly Parton just did one.
Barbara Mandrell.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you remember her sister's names?
She's still alive.
I believe she is. Yes, there were three sisters.
Yeah, I Barbara Mandrell. I think she's still looks like she's still alive. Yeah, she's still 71 years old.
How old is she?
71.
Okay.
71, born in 1948.
But I missed those days of the Christmas special.
And Arlene Mandrell.
Yes.
And Louise Mandrell.
Okay, I would never have gotten it. I was just curious if you know it.
Louise was Thelma Louise Mandrell was 66.
Wow.
And is she still alive?
Yeah, I don't know. That's good.
Yeah, she's still alive. And Arlene Mandrell is the youngest.
Yes, Will. Those were the days.
1956. So she's 10 years younger than I.
And he's older than you.
Older than I, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't become a teacher, huh?
Yeah, well, those were the days. But yeah, I missed those days. And then right after they always had the Bob Hope special, and he would trot out all the college players and I miss those kind of shows, and they don't have them now. They have reality shows, which are just
They don't have anything like that because you know why? They don't have the people to fill those roles. You know, when you say about those old time TV shows, you find out that those shows were fucking filmed someplace in California in July, okay, and they were held on to and shown
yeah.
in December, and they're like, this one was filmed in front of a live audience. And then, you know, they'd come out and they'd do everything Christmas, and they'd be so convincing that it's happening right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, oh, wow, man, this is so Christmassy. And then you read like, oh, did you know that Bing Crosby filmed his show in June? Oh, wow, for the summertime? No, it's Christmas show. Like, no way. You know, it's just the way it was. But nowadays, who takes the place of these people?
Yeah, it's the truth. You know, I got to be honest with you. I don't know if there's a star out there now who would do one that I would show. I'll give you one. There's a guy I've been following on Facebook. I've been trying to get him to come on the show. I haven't been able to successful yet. But if John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard did a Christmas show, I would watch it.
Well, he probably had something to do with a Christmas show somewhere down there.
I would imagine so, but yeah, he's kind of got that down home feeling of that era. And yeah, he was probably a young man going on some of those shows back in the day. So, you know, that's the kind of guy that I might jump to if he did a Christmas special. But I gotta tell you, for the most part, like, I'm not watching the Snoop Dogg Christmas. You know, I you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff just doesn't do it for me. And I think that's the difference today for me, for the holidays, is you don't have that homey feeling anymore.
No, because you if you remember right, when they did those Christmas shows, there'd be a grove of trees. The host would come out from between the trees. There'd be some fake snow gently falling.
Yeah.
Behind the trees, you could see the band set up, you know, silhouette of the band and everything. And then they took their spot amongst that front of that grove of trees, and then like, well, you know, here's so and so, and then there'd be another stage that they would show.
Yeah,
remember that? And it just the way they did it. Now it's, dude, it's a completely different holiday, and it's all about the sales and everything else. And Will did bring up a point that they didn't have cable or computers back then.
Yeah.
So people look forward to watching this stuff, and if you didn't watch it, you were done. You had to wait. Hopefully, they showed it next year. Hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to find. I just don't know if there's that entertainer out there that for me would get me to watch a Christmas special or something to that effect. I just don't know if there's anybody. You know, it's hard to say for me. It's hard for me to think that there's a younger star that I would gravitate to do. Like, you know, to me, it was always watching the older generation. You know, that's what it was about. Now we're all the older generation.
Well, let me ask you this. Celine Dion, she does Christmas songs. Would you watch a Christmas special from Celine Dion?
Yeah, only if my eyes were being pecked out by vultures in the desert. I think she's one of the most annoying human beings in the history of human beings.
All right. What about Mariah Carey? She's another one that does Christmas songs.
You know, I like some of her Christmas songs. I got to be honest. I don't like her regular songs, but her Christmas songs aren't bad. But I saw her do some stuff on New Year's Eve 2 years ago that was just borderline horrendous, and I couldn't do it. I got to be honest. I can't think of too many people. Again, John Schneider, I told you, Dukes of Hazzard, Bo Duke. I would do it if he was on. Maybe the Osmonds. I think like an Osmond Christmas special might be funny to watch. I don't know. I can't think of too many other people, Jeff, that would get me to draw me down. Dolly Parton's got one coming up. Yeah. So Dollywood.
I don't know if there's somebody that I could. First of all, I didn't like those shows when I was a kid, and those were.
Yeah, I liked them. Yeah, I was a big fan of them.
You know, I remember at this point in time, the only reason that I would want to sit and watch it is it would remind me of being a kid and being at my mother's house or my aunt, uncle's house, and
exactly
them watching. You know, and
100%
be about it.
No, I listen. I agree with you. It's about the nostalgia of it. And again, I don't think they'd ever tap into the nostalgia that we grew up with. So I don't know. You know what? Maybe today's era is just different. You know, with all the different TVs and computers, internets. You know, maybe it'll never be that homey thing that we grew up with.
Listen, did you watch South Park when it came on TV?
I wouldn't say religiously. Yes, but definitely not religiously.
Okay, when South Park first came on, it was cardboard cutouts of little cartoon characters that they would move, and film the voices over it. Then once they became bigger and they had a budget, then they made it animated like a cartoon.
Okay.
So it's like they're always looking to improve what we have.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes you don't want it improved. Sometimes it doesn't fall to be improved.
Hence, hence your favorite cartoons in Charlie Brown. Like, I don't ever want them to fix Charlie Brown cartoons.
No, I agree, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
I totally agree.
You're 100% correct, Jeff. There are certain things in life that I don't want it to be better. I don't want better peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I like the peanut butter and jelly the way it is. Okay? I like powdered mac and cheese. Don't make it better.
No. See, we ate powdered mac and cheese when we were kids, only because we were kids and this is what we bought. You know what I mean? But I just went and re-upped. I got right now 8 boxes of mac and cheese with the plastic cheese in the envelope. Okay, the little aluminum foil envelope. And I keep them, and here's the best part, because I'm such a retard. I rotate my stock. So when I buy new ones, I take them all out of the cabinet, put the old ones back in first, and then put them back in date order. So because I have so many boxes, I don't want to be in the mood one day, like I got to eat this, boil the water, and then I'm waiting for them to cook, and then all of a sudden you see the little bugs that sometimes appear in macaronis. I don't need that.
You're not taking any chances.
Not taking any chances.
Well, I will tell you that I am not the biggest fan of the pre-made cheese. I'm just not. I like to powder the cheese out. I think it comes out a little better. But we all have our things. And
how many boxes of that do you eat at a clip?
Well, I will tell you, I don't have it very often. I've been buying the small little tubs. You ever see those little quick?
Those aren't.
I take those for work sometimes. I would tell you, not often. I would tell you if I have mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Now I'll say, when I go out, I have it. My wife will buy like some different mac and cheeses, but I buy the 34 cents, great value mac and cheese, and once in a blue moon, I'll crank up a box.
Well, I always like mac and cheese and would always buy it from time to time.
Right.
Until the pandemic hit. And then once they scared the life out of me, that I thought I was going to have to live in my basement for 6 months at a clip. Then I just bought as much food as I could that wasn't perishable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I started getting into mac and cheese.
Okay.
Now there's the store around the corner for me has it for $2 a box.
$2 a box?
Yeah.
Disgusting. I can get 7 boxes for that.
Yeah, but you're dealing with like powdered cheese.
Yeah.
Fucking cracks so that ants come and
it stay forever. The powdered cheese will never. There's only 3 substances in the world that don't ever go bad: honey, and one of them is the mac and cheese with the powdered cheese. And if the world ended tomorrow, it'd be cockroaches and the powdered mac and cheese.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know, man.
I'm living on the powdered mac and cheese. Nothing better.
I don't know. I got Raven.
Oh, so do I. We got a little that debate in the bottom too. We do.
It's like fucking 6 packs for $3 or something, whatever it is.
I think we get a 24 pack for like three something or 6 something like that.
When I bought this stuff, trust me when I'm telling you. I mean, I've replenished it and eaten it from now.
Yeah.
It was the whole idea that like, holy shit, we're going on lockdown for 5 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And they're talking extending it. So my wife would call me up. I dropped everything I was doing and ran to the store, which thank God is right around the corner from my house. So sometimes when I'm here alone and I'm like, let's go do some doomsday shopping, you know?
Well, let me ask you, do you, I mean, when I do my food shopping or even extensive shopping, not even total food, I can't go to a regular deli. It's too expensive. You got to go to I go to Stop and Shop or ShopRite or even Walmart. I love shopping in Walmart. That's what
you can't go to a deli. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, even the food store I go to, my wife tells me is expensive.
Yeah.
But depending on what I'm going to get,
But if you
you
pay,
know, like 5 cans of corn for $5.
yeah,
Like I'm coming home with 5 cans of corn.
correct.
You know, other things. I'm beginning to learn the prices of stuff, and sometimes I hear myself saying to my like, "Put that down."
I do the food shopping in the house. I'll constantly go food shopping and go, why do I need 10 cans of beets? I don't care if they're 16 cents each. Why do I want 10 cans? I've done that. Like, oh, that's 10 for $10. And I go, wait, what am I ever going to do with 10 cans of this?
My wife is that shopper.
Oh, I catch myself all the time.
So at times, not all the times. Between the two of us, we could probably go broke in a couple hours.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Listen, I can go food shop. I'll tell you a quick funny one. So we upgraded our kitchen because I wanted a bigger refrigerator. Okay.
You got to send me pictures. I want to see this.
I will send it to you. So I go one of my regular food shops. I put everything away, open the fridge, and it's like nothing. Like I could have crawled inside the fridge and hung out. It was so empty. So now when I go food shopping, I'm like, all right, I need stuff I'm buying like 6 packs of the little bitty sodas. There's like 3 ounces of soda in here. I don't even drink it, but I buy stuff just to fill up the refrigerator. I'm like, all right, this is a mistake. Like I can't keep looking in my refrigerator and there's nothing in there because I didn't need a bigger refrigerator, but I wanted a bigger refrigerator.
You have a side by side or freezer
yes.
over? Okay.
No. I have French doors with the freezer on the bottom.
Okay. I have side by side freezer.
Okay.
That's part of my problem.
Why?
Because I never had one of those before.
Okay.
So having one of those now, I always had the freezer on top and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was able to fill it. I knew how to fill it and how to handle it.
Right.
This, I don't know what I'm doing.
I feel same like
it's like I got to one day when my wife's not here, take everything out, clean it out, put everything back the way that I want it back. So this here way, when she comes back home, she'll be like, "Oh, what did you do?" And I'll be like, "I fixed it.
I rearranged
it." I rearranged it because I look in there and there's stuff that my wife buys, sunflower butter, peanut milk, stuff like this. All this
can't
good
be in the
stuff.
same fridge as the macaroni and cheese, Jeff. It's not allowed.
And I ask her, I'm like, "Do you think you're gonna live to be 160 or something with this shit that you buy? The people that eat this stuff die too. You know that, right?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "But I'm going to live a little bit longer than you. It's like a couple weeks. What's the difference?"
Eat the salted butter. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. At least if I'm going to die, it's going to taste good,
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, that's the downside of a big fridge. Now I got to fill it up with stuff. The freezer part's great. It's got the couple drawers down the bottom. Like it's perfect. Like I got it all set up perfectly. But
my freezer.
But
that's another thing too, because we panic shop with that, and I got all this different meat in the freezer.
Yeah.
Don't use any of it though.
We did the same thing. I haven't had to buy meat in a month because I bought so much stuff. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I was doing. Listen, when I was home for 7 weeks, the only thing we were going out to do was shop. I would go food shopping once a week. But I do that now. But I was doing, I do now 150, 160, maybe.
It's a little bit more of a targeted shop now.
Yeah. Then I was just like every Friday morning, I gotta go food shop. They're gonna lock down. I'm not gonna get any food.
Well, lockdown, and you would get up early on Saturday morning because everybody does, because you're used to getting up early all the week long.
Yeah.
Now you're up 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. So even if you stretch it and you take your shower and you're done and you shower by 10 o'clock, like that's 10 o'clock. I can't go to bed for another 12 hours. What am I going to do? Let's go food shopping.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Right? And now to make matters worse, God forbid you don't bring your bags. And then the kid is like, "Do you have any bags?" And you tell her no, and then that smirk comes.
We can sell you
bags for like 50 cents a piece.
There's a store next to my job, the deli that I go to, and I have these spare bags that I got at Target, or even there I bought one of their bags. And every once in a while, I got to go in there to buy stuff for the job. We have a small fridge, and I keep waters and sodas and stuff in there. And every once in a while, I walk in there and I forget to bring my bag with me, and I go, now I got to pay $1 for their bag that doesn't fit anything. Then I wind up having to buy 2 bags, and it irks the shit out of me. I'm like, why can't I just have a
bring way back to your fucking house?
Oh,
because they're made like shit.
Yeah. And then I buy their bag, I stuff it with a bunch of stuff. I'm walking that, and the handle breaks off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to be kidding. I said, can't somebody just give me a normal goddamn plastic bag?
Well, you
Like,
can't have that. You can't have that because we are saving the flat-beaked, yellow-bottomed fucking sea turtle by not having plastic bags in our environment.
Oh my God,
that-
it's the worst.
This is so ass backwards now. You go into the store, you fill up the cart, it's like, I need this, I'm going to need that. Oh, that's on sale. Get 3 of those, get this, get that. Then you get online and you're like, wait a minute, there's no bags.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And now you're carrying all of this shit to the car.
Yeah, it's like going to Costco.
Oh my God.
And at least Costco, they give you cardboard boxes. Yeah. At the least.
know,
But wait, here's the thing. So you can't have a plastic bag, but I got an entire cart full of plastic jugs and canisters and I'm like, what's the difference if I got a plastic bag or you give me a milk container? What's the difference?
You feel like announcing to the world, I'm taking this and I'm dumping this at the nearest beach. Fuck them turtles.
Yeah,
Okay. You would have been better off giving me the bags.
Oh, come up with something. It's got to be. It's ridiculous, guys. Hard Rock. It's God.
I get my breakfast every morning, every Friday morning. Like tomorrow morning, I'll get up early. I'll take Sharon to the bus stop. Right.
Mhm.
I park across the street from the store. I walk over to the bus stop with her. Sometimes she wants something, so I place my order. I tell the guy I'm paying for her stuff, this, that, and the other thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I go in there, and the guy tells me, he goes, do you want that bag? Because his name's like fucking Jose or whatever the fuck it is.
Okay.
So I'm thinking he's being cool with me because I throw him $1 every time I go in there for food, right? And I know the little cocksucker sees me give him the $1.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I need a bag. Okay, sir. So he adds everything up, and that is an extra 50 cents for the bag. And I'm like, you little fence job jumping motherfucker, you actually going to charge me for the fucking bag, you cocksucker? I must charge you for the bag, sir. Yeah, okay.
What a disgrace! Whatever. I'm telling you, it's a disgrace. But yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
What the disgrace is, you know what, there, Julio? Because my country is banning plastic bags. Your relatives are never coming back to this country because they're not going to be able to build a raft strong enough without those plastic bags. Try building the fucking raft with brown paper bags, or them shitty bags you get from fucking Target. They're not coming back here. Fuck you.
Oh my God, it's crazy, man. Guys, Hard Rock and Sports 347-826-9934. Jeff and Tom. We'll be back next Thursday night, all doing this all over again. We got I think Mick Michaels from Corners of Sanctuary, I think his name of the band. They're an R4 Records band. Real quick. Let me just see this. No, that's Raphael's page. Mick Michaels from Corners of Sanctuary. Yep, they got a Christmas album coming out, or I think it just came out. And John's but he'll be on next week with us. We got Lenny Torselli coming up.
Is that Doomsday shit you were playing earlier?
No,
man?
That's Pressure. They're from Sweden. That's a whole different one.
All right, because I got to admit, man, I thought I had to go change my underwear when I first listened to that. Like,
well, we might be they might be playing live that night. Well, it'll be about it. Our 7 o'clock is 1 a.m. for them, so they're trying to figure out how to do it. But they like to perform live. But I've asked permission to play the song each week because I think it's a fun song to open up the show with. It's Christmassy and it
sounds like Rammstein.
Exactly. So we'll get them back, and Jeff and I will keep talking lots of Christmas stuff. Maybe some more about my refrigerator. Maybe I'll post some pictures of my refrigerator.
Yeah, let's see what goes on, man.
That's it, and we got lots of stuff. The Hard Rock. Are we calling it the Hard Rock and Sports Band still?
I don't know. I don't know what the story is with it.
We got back together.
That it's back.
I got to ask a question. Did you get any feedback from your friend?
Other than the text, that was it.
Okay.
I'm not exceptionally friendly with that guy. He was somebody that somehow, some way, we became friends on Facebook a number of years ago.
Okay.
And every once in a while, he'd comment on something, and he had his own shit going on or whatever. And then a couple times we've talked in the past about possibly jamming, and he was going to jam with me and with something else that we did. It
right.
didn't work out, and then this was coming to fruition, and Joey backed out, and I was like, "Listen, I got something." And he actually turned out. He came out. He was pretty good. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice guy.
He gets along with the rest of the band well, which was cool. Everybody, John Collins knew him. Everybody seemed to get along, which is a plus. No hard feelings or anything, and it looks like it's going to be a little fun this time around, and that's what we're hoping for.
Well, let's hope and we can get together. I know Jimmy's got a couple issues, so we'll see when we can get back together again. But it was fun. So we'll let you get a big holiday jam coming up on the 19th if you're in the Rosebank area.
That I'm
Stop by.
looking forward to, man. That I'm
Yep.
looking forward to.
Yep. Everybody make sure you stop by and make sure you come on out. I want to take a minute to wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday that's coming up this weekend. She's celebrating her birthday. I won't give it the year or the age.
58.
But I will just wish my lovely wife a happy birthday.
I don't even know how old your wife is, but I know it's not 58.
Hey, Johnny Collins just popped up. We were just talking about you, Johnny boy.
What's up, John Collins? Real quick,
Good.
mentioned birthdays. Today, Ozzy Osbourne, 72 years old.
Wow. Is he really?
Yes, sir. Somehow he made it to 72.
Well, him and Keith Richards, how those two guys got to this point, I'm not really sure.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go, hope for the best number possible.
Uh-huh.
Time comes. Right now, as it stands, 73 plus is okay with me. If Ozzy made it to 72, I'm hoping to make it to 73 plus. Then we'll chip away at Keith Richards after that.
There you go, but guys. Yeah, December 19th, the Rosebank boys and friends will be meeting down at Mode Music at 1:00 if you're in the neighborhood.
That's it. Como, hopefully he won't shut it down. He'll think that this is essential.
Yes, let's hope that we don't get shut down. But if not, you could see Jimmy and Jeff and Paul and Drew and Ronnie, myself, Greg, Johnny Collins said he's going to pop down there. Hopefully Johnny will come down and it will be a lot of merriness and songs and a lot of stories that keep getting better each year. So let's hope for that. Hey, Jeff, real quick before we do end it, I want to talk about Eddie Van Halen real quick. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Wolfie, his son, seems to be very, 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 what's the right word? Tender about, there's a bunch of Eddie's guitars being auctioned off and people are, listen, as always, yes, oh my God, he's going to wear assless chaps.
Just said, slow down there, Sonny. He just said he's wearing chaps. John, are they assless chaps? Yes or no? We'll wait for his answer, but go on. I did not hear all of this, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people have been pushing for reunions and people trying to put out all sorts of music, and he's offended by it. He's
assless chaps, by the way.
Yes, I'm going to guess that's assless chaps, but we'll take what we can get.
First of all, John Collins, your ass is too small. It's going to look like 2 eggs and a hanky. Gotta fucking put some meat on them bones first, boy.
The first thing I would tell you, John, I've known you 30 plus years. I have no idea what your ass looks like. And the fact that Jeff can describe your ass in that detail, it starts to worry me.
Well, let's put it this way. I was not behind it. So.
At what point were you behind it? And when we were there?
I was not behind it.
Oh.
But just look at it when we're playing. Look at it. It's like this big. It looks like a hamburger.
Yeah, this is too much information for my my liking, but
little Collins burger.
Jeff, do you think that Wolfie's being a little too should it be complimented that people are remembering his father in that light? Are people being insensitive? The man just passed away and they're trying to capitalize on his death. What's your quick assessment?
First of all, take it as a compliment that people want to hear your father's music. Second of all, if any of your father's guitars are going up for auction, then that means your father let them go or had to have let them go before he died.
Sure.
If not, and they were in your care and now they're up for auction, then what are you crying about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the other thing that bothered me was I read the Satriani thing, and I'm tired of people, I don't think Eddie Van Halen ever came out and said, hey, I invented the two-handed tapping. I don't think he ever said it. Like I've read just about everything I've ever, anything you can get on Eddie Van Halen, I read it. I think Eddie Van Halen just made it famous. But Satriani came out and said, I was tapping before that, and I saw so-and-so doing it. And what I want to say was, shut up, asshole. Nobody ever said he invented it. He just made it famous. Do you agree with that?
I didn't hear what Satriani said, but I mean, Satriani didn't have the same body of work that Van Halen did.
No.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Satriani was the guy that was known for giving Kirk Hammett lessons and
Yes.
a couple other guys lessons. And
Yeah,
then
did he give like George Lynch lessons or something? Was it Lynch?
I do not know.
Yeah. There was
But
two couple of guys.
Surfing with the Alien, and then
Yeah.
I couldn't name another song, and I didn't like Surfing with the Alien. So, I don't know what other stuff Satriani even did, to tell you the truth.
I like Surfing with the Alien, but after about 3 or 4 minutes of it, it's like I've heard it all. Like it's enough. Like I sing something, sing 12 Days of Christmas. I'd even deal with that at that point.
If something's an instrumental, it's got to be good to grab your attention, and you got to
hold it.
A whole album's worth of instrumental stuff has got to be really good.
Yeah, I don't think I own anything that's a complete instrumental album. I don't think I could ever listen to it.
No.
How about you?
I don't think I have anything either.
Yeah, and you're right, Johnny Eddie was unique, and I get Wolfie's problem with it. I do to a certain extent. It's your dad, and he just passed, and people are capitalizing on it. But it just goes with that just goes with the territory. If I owned an Eddie Van Halen guitar that he gave me, and I needed money in my life, and he just passed, and I can get 70,000, 80,000 for it, Jeff, I'd be selling it tomorrow.
You get a little bit more than if it's an original, and you can prove it more than 70,000, 80,000.
That's my point. I mean, so I get it. Listen, I understand he wants to distance himself. He doesn't want to play it. Here's the one thing I found real fun. We'll end it with this. He said he thought it was okay for Dave to go out and play Van Halen songs, and I went, not for nothing, but I got a feeling Dave had a hand in writing a lot of that stuff. I mean, I think he's sure if he wanted to go out with his band and do a Van Halen stuff, I think it'd be okay.
You know what I have a problem with? You look at Valerie Bertinelli, right? When she was younger, she first gave birth, she was kind of cute, hot. Eddie Van Halen, good guy. And then there's Wolfie, just, you know what I mean? Like, Wolfie, stop, please.
Yeah.
You're the biggest man. You are as big as the rest of Van Halen, including Alex Van Halen's drum set. Stop the nonsense, okay? Just stop.
I agree. Listen, I think it kind of tends to put him in a bad light, and all that. I think Wolf should just, he should almost just go on and start doing your own stuff. Go do your own thing, make your own name now, and
He doesn't want to.
Huh?
He doesn't want to. He wants to stay connected, I think, to the Van Halen name. That's why he keeps talking about it. You in a movie with Valerie Bertinelli? What was the name of the movie? John Collins.
Oh, what? Really? John, we forget John's a star.
And you can call her a bitch all she wants. She was fun to look at.
The movie Rockabye. I have to look it up now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that bothers me that she was a bitch. I got to be honest with you. I was always a big fan of Valerie Bertinelli.
I mean, listen, my wife, when Van Halen died,
yeah,
she was upset. Not crying, not visibly upset.
Yeah.
But she was living in California at the time. And, she said that it was every girl's dream to be like married to Van Halen at that time. And so I could see that.
Sure.
But, listen, what it is what it is.
All I can tell you is Lita Ford said he was wearing her panties when he ran out of the house when the boyfriend came home.
I wonder if we never asked, was he married to Valerie Bertinelli at that time?
No, he wasn't. I'm almost positive she said that he was single. Or in the book, no, it says it in the book. They were dating after. Yeah, no. I read that in her book. John, what's your idea? I got an idea for a show next year. Come on, John. Let's hear your idea.
That was Will Cloak's idea. Tommy,
my God, Will. I'm sorry, I thought it was John. Will, what's your idea for the show, Will? Yeah, Lita is awesome. I read her book, and she was a great interview on the show. One of my favorites.
She started off excellent, man. Wow.
Had to be the worst start to an interview we've ever done.
Yeah.
But it ended okay. She was okay. Although I still get a kick that she paid $100 for some guy's pants, and she invented the holes in the jeans look. I don't know, Jeff. What are we gonna do? Hey guys, remember, hey
Kiss,
Kiss,
a long night that night.
I think so. Kiss has got a big show on New Year's Eve. They're doing a concert It's called the Kiss Goodbye 2020. So I don't know if you guys are Kiss fans. As always, you can buy different packages to watch it, have it recorded, multiple views. They'll send you stuff. I don't know. I'm interested. I might actually try it. We'll see what happens. 30 years ago, Nevermind got released, the start of that movement. Will, what's your idea for the show? I'm just curious. Before I say goodnight.
Well, so your tree is up and everything. Your house is all done.
Tree has been lit for at least a week before before the Thanksgiving. At least, maybe 2. I think I was up 2 weeks before. Yeah, every night I sit out there. The house is decorated outside. I got lights around the house. Everything I could possibly do.
Just got my green lights today,
Mm-hmm.
so I got to go outside tomorrow and figure out what I'm going to do with those all those bands that came from Seattle. Something to do with a grunge show, I guess. But I got to hook up the green lights tomorrow.
Okay.
And get the green. And my house can look like an Italian flag. I'm done.
Better than the brothel looks like right now. But guys, yeah, we're going to close this down. We do this every week, 7 to 10 or thereabouts. Hi, Laura. Thank you for tuning in to two old guys talking on the radio, talking on the I guess on the internet at this point, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm on.
I'm on. Hold on a second. I have no idea. Jeff. I'm answering your private message. But yeah, guys, listen, we'll be back next week. Again, Mick Michaels from the band Corners of Sanctuary stops by. Christmas show, again, the 17th. Leonard Torselli, Leonard Anthony, as he goes by, and we'll be stopping by, talk a little baseball. Thanks, Will. Love you too. He'll be stopping by to sing some Christmas carols. The band Pressure from Sweden will be checking in, maybe do some live music, 1 a.m. in Sweden time. Hopefully we're booking some other people, do some songs. Jeff's going to do a big reading, Christmas and the show in his stocking cap, and he'll do a little reading of one of his favorite classics. Christmas.
I'm not telling you where I'm wearing this stocking cap, though.
You're not wearing. We don't want to know where you're going to wear it. And I'm going to officially announce that I'm going to sing a Christmas song during the night. I don't know what song yet, but I will officially sing a song on our show. It's our variety show. We can do whatever we want.
There you go.
So,
are you going to do it in front of the Christmas tree, though?
Probably not. I'm kind of locked in. I'm kind of locked in to where I have to do the show. I can't really bounce around. So I'm kind of stuck where I am with the show, but that's okay.
John Collins just said
cutlets. John, I'm never going to forgive
you.
Cutlets. I'm not going to forgive you, but I will be singing a song. Who knows? Maybe we get John Collins to come on and sing a song with us that night. Do a little Christmas song. It would be nice if Johnny did that. We'll see.
John Collins would come on with the butt cutlets and the czar, man.
Guys, we'll wrap it again. Leonard Anthony on December 17th, Pressure, and next week, Mick Michaels from Cornerstones of Sanctuary will be our guest on the Hard Rock and Sports Show, and we'll be back next week. Guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's going to be a little chilly. We got lots of football. First place Giants. So go out there and support the Jets, whatever they're playing. That's all that matters, I guess. I don't know. But, Jeff, I'll give you the last word. Anything you want to end with?
Yeah, I just changed my banner name, man.
I'm not even going to announce it.
I will say it.
Johnny Collins, I'm holding you to it, John. You're going to sing a song on the Christmas special?
Between now and the end of the year, we ought to be known as Butt Cutlets and the Czar.
Well, it will never be. It will never come from these lips. Never happen.
John Collins is a proponent of it.
Yeah, that's
what it matters.
That tells you off the bat where it stands. But okay, guys, listen. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to our guests tonight. Thanks to the band Pressure for letting me play their song "Justless" to open the show. Thanks to Sam Bone. Thanks to my dad for popping in. Thanks to everybody who paid attention to us on Facebook and through social media. Remember, you can go to hardrockandsports.com to find more information about this show and upcoming shows. You can catch the replays of this. You can go to YouTube. Go to the Hard Rock and Sports Show on the YouTube channel. You'll find us there, all our old shows. And, of course, come back next Thursday night when we do this all over again. And, Jeff, anything else? That's it?
I just sent you another message.
Oh, boy. Here we go. One more message. No. All right, guys. Listen, you guys go out, enjoy your weekend. Watch a lot of football. Stay home. Love your family. Come back next Thursday night when we do this all over again. So for Jeff Tolwinski, myself, and everybody here at Hard Rock and Sports, I say good night. Stay safe and have a great weekend. Enjoy the holidays, folks. Come on back, Jeff.
Buck comments in the czar out.
Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Later.
Later.